Now the adventure begins. What up, Brother Hertan? Now, before we wrap with Brother Hertan, I'm gonna need to get me a save in. On time. Start this as the new save. What's going on, good people? Welcome back to Game Therapy. It is indeed 9 o'clock. 9:02, actually. You honor me. By your leave, I would like to move on now.
You honor me. By your leave, I would like to move on now.
Of course. One final request?
Yes?
Give this letter to Gilthor, if you should meet him in Silver Lake.
That can be arranged.
Have a safe journey. May Enos be with you.
May Enos be with you. Oh, I'm the kingmaker, baby. I be making kings out here, don't I? Get up out of here. Now then, we must find our new quest, our new adventure. Before we do that, we need to figure out where we're going. Ah! Here's the front of town. Hey! I'm just getting trophies left and right! Getting trophies for showing up to the game. That sounds like the millennials, isn't it? We pick on the millennials as if they were the ones that invented that. It was their whack-ass baby boomer parents that came up with it. Oh, hypersensitive asses. Hang in there, millennials. We got your back. Alright. Let us figure out where the next quest is taking us. Frank Rapper says, the title is 100% true. I curse a lot, and I'm very honest. I can dig it, man. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Now, I wanted to get to Silver Lake's border. Where must I go to reach? As I suspected, north. But Frank Rapp, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming to hang. Thanks for hanging out on Game Therapy, man. But yeah, I used to, a friend of mine, military brother, used to have that sign on his wall. Which basically said, there's basically a scientific study that showed, here we go, stand by. Booyah! All in there, here we go, killing! Gotcha! He always had a sign on his wall that was, I can't remember where the article was published, but it showed there had been a survey that was taking a scientific study that showed people who used more quote-unquote foul language, like who decides who the foul language is. I think the people who came up with foul language are the worst people on earth. The type of person that comes up with, oh, these are the words we're not allowed to say anymore. It's the Pharisees, it's Hitler. Those people are always present in history. They're the worst. Like, these are the words we're not allowed to say on TV. Why? Because one of your children might say it at school, even though everybody at the school says it, they're just pretending not to while they're at school because some rich white person told them that's how civilized people behave 2,000 years ago or whenever we made all these stupid-ass rules that have nothing to do with our survival anymore. Okay. Well, using those words isn't nice. Well, nice used to be an insult until America got mediocre. You know, like great people curse all the time. Curse. And that's a misuse of scripture, by the way. Jesus did not mean the word fuck. He was talking about cursing. Anyway, how y'all doing today? That's what I'm ranting about right now. But anyway, he had the thing. It was an article that showed that people who cussed were more likely to be very honest, which to me only makes sense. Because the only people who don't cuss are those who don't do it in front of other people that they think are going to judge them. Because who is the committee that decided what the good and bad words are? Who were they? And why? How did they get appointed? Were they in any way diverse? Right? That's a question I asked the Mormon folks that come around a lot. It's like, hey, the board that got together and decided all the shit that's true in your faith. How many of them motherfuckers are from the continent of Africa? Yeah. So, no diversity at all. No diversity of thought. Just what all those Anglo-Saxons on the wall thought. Good idea. Let's not diversify at all. Let's get all our ideas from one place and crown that king, right? Isn't that how we should do it? I mean, that's how dumb people have survived for thousands of years. Maybe we should be like them. Woo! Let's not die, speaking of dumb people. Getting impatient, and that's why I'm losing. And they know this. They know that my impatience, because they can do their multiple stupid-ass attacks so quickly and dial it back the hell on up. Now, see, now when there's only one of you, you can't be that. You ain't so bad. You ain't nothing. You ain't so bad by yourself, are you, homie? Or the continent of Asia, for that matter. Doesn't have to be Africa. In case anybody thought I was making that, in case dumb people thought I was making that racial. It's like, no, I'm just making it diverse. Like, where are your ideas coming from? They all came from the same continent. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there where they figured out some shit. You might want to check with them. Dodging and killing, baby. Dodging and killing. Come on, give me one more shot for the Gipper. There you go. And then I can stun his ass and he can't do nothing about it. All in there killing. Ooh, override. Okay. All right. Does anybody else want to attack a brother while I'm on my adventure trying to save the world? You realize that's what I'm up to, is saving the world, and y'all are just slowing me down. I'm trying to save y'all, too. I don't know why you're attacking me. Trying to save everybody. With all that in mind, to our friend Frank Rappa and everybody else that's here, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, whether you're watching the show live, you're rewatching this after the fact. It matters not how you watch, it matters that you watched. So thank you for being here. I hope you get something good out of tonight's ramblings. Something useful, hopefully, that you can take with you. And most importantly, hopefully you get a laugh. Hopefully you get something that makes you smile just a little bit before you ride off into the sunset for the night and get ready to get right back after it tomorrow. Remember to save often, my friends. Remember to save often. Alright, this is the door that was locked. Got it. Ah, I was too far. I got it. I got it now. We on track. We're on track. Let's go. There it goes.
Stop! The path to the Valley of Blood is off
Terry,
limits.
what's up, brother? How are you today, my friend? Man, it's good to see your face.
I've got a permit to get to Silver Lake. Here.
The seal of the Baron.
I'm hyped now. Terry's
Very
here.
well, sir. But, good sir, you can pass, sir.
I can pass, sir. I will, sir. All right. Act 2, I think this is the beginning of Act 2, right? Because you have the prologue. I think we just finished Act 1. And this is Act 2, the beginning of. And then Act 3, I think, is when we pass over to that deep, dark lake in the forest where they're kicking everybody's ass. I think that's how this works. I sometimes get this game... Two Worlds I don't really get confused with it because that's such a game in its own world. But this game in Arcania, this game in Divinity Ego Draconis, I often confuse. Like, did that happen in this, or is that Ego Draconis? Crap, or is that Dragon Age? Because sometimes even Dragon Age will get like, oh, that's Dragon Age. Dang, I'm having all these memories from 15 years ago when I played some of these games. And it's really hard to believe. Like, this game right here is already... I think we played this back in 09. Like... This game's already a decade plus old. And I'm pretty sure I played it when it was new, and then I've played it every couple of years since just because I enjoy it so much. Easy, easy. You about to get shanked if you don't get up out. If you don't ball out, that's going to be your ass. Get up out of here, Jesus. There we go. There we is. Come on, get you some loving. I got all the loving you need now. Ain't just gonna be no easy win. You're gonna run up on a brother and kill him. You got to do some serious fighting if you don't want to die. Shit! Oh, get your ass up. Damn, I didn't realize. I thought I dodged his ass. I didn't think he caught up to me. Alright, sheath up. Shit. You gotta run, bro. You gotta get your ass up out of here. You got to be dead as hell. You better sheath and run, ho. This ain't no game, guru. This is... Whoa. Told you, man. On the hardest difficulty, this game will beat your ass. If it catches you slipping. You getting an ass beaten. Like the one I almost caught right there. Broken Super's in the house. What up? Just finished my Urban Rain review. So now I gotta work on another project since I was tagged to do a top 10 favorite. Whoa, your top 10? I'm very excited to see this. Now, are you doing videos for these or are these writing only? I was thinking of tagging you when I finish it. Okay. I did a top 10 video. I think I did a top 10 video on TikTok a year ago or something like that, and then I forgot that most of the people there, like most of my following there is, I think, over 30, but most of the people there are not, nor are they male. But it was just like, well, if this is your taste in games, we the response was kind of, well, if this is your taste in games, we pretty much know never to listen to anything you say. I was like, that's not wrong. I don't disagree with that assessment. If you're a fan of video games in general, you're probably not going to like my opinion very much. Because I hate most of these damn games because they do tedious, dumb shit that I think they shouldn't do. And the games that don't do that seem to be the games that everybody hates. So it's like, well, guess we're gonna. I'm glad there's developers that make games that I like that everybody hates. Like, thank God I can still play video games. All right, you little hoes, come over here. What you want? You want some of that loving? I got all you need right here. Yeah, come and get it. Bow! All your friends gonna get that love you need right there in your ass too. Take one hit. Don't take two now. You can take one. You can't take two. Jesus. Gotcha, bitch. Now run. Oh, now what I can do. Please get your footing so you can fire. Yeah, run, ho. Both of you. Alright, I'm talking all this smack. I'm getting my ass whipped. See, Terry says, Tristan, what's up, homie? Says, videos for both, though as of right now, only the written review of Urban Reign is done. Okay, yeah, well, hit me. Hit me up once you got the videos done. I'll check them out. Or either. I'll check out the writings, too, man. I always like your stuff. Always like your stuff, man. So yeah, I think I did a top 10, and then everyone was like, dude, why is your old ass here? We like Smash Bros. And, well, that tells me everything I need to know about you as a gamer. Like, if you like Smash Bros, we're not going to be friends. Like, my kids like Smash Bros. I'm not friends with them either. The name of the game early here is patience. With these fights, I have a tendency to get impatient because I usually want these fights to be over faster than they are. That's my primary beef with these games. With any game, really, that involves combat, killing usually takes longer than I want it to. Because killing in real life is way easier than these games make it. I mean, actual doing the killing is hard because you have to have skill. But the thing you're using to make people die usually doesn't take 9 to 27 hits. And that part is somewhat tedious. But, having said that, alright, what you got, homie? Oh, you want to know I haven't fought yet. Gotcha! I'll rough it off. A motherfucker hee-haw, cause we're roughing them off. He says, I always use the crossbow. Yeah, the crossbow I'm saving up. I'm saving up all my crossbow bolts for the harder fights in the game. So I will be using the good old crossbow here in the hopefully not too distant future. That is a very good point. The crossbow does make you quite a bit more agile and capable of killing more quickly. Very good point. Alright, so I'm going off the beaten path to explore because that's what I do in these games. Hallelujah, this game actually lets us do it. Look at that. Finding stuff. Having a ball out here. Look at all the fun we're having. Aren't you having fun? I'm having fun. Shoot. Broken Zuba. Oh, Tristan first says, B, I sliced a dude 30 times with my samurai sword once. He just kept coming. Yep, that's not the game for me, homie. Whatever game that was, that's one I don't ever need to play ever in the history of forever. Broken Zuba goes on to say, I found another game to go for platinum on. The Forest. I played it before. Is that the one where you're walking around getting the voice mails from the lady that you want to cheat with? But you end up not, the guy, obviously not you, but the person in the game wants to have an affair with this lady. In that you're the groundskeeper. It's basically The Shining, out in the woods edition, right? Isn't that what the game is? Because if it is, watched. I think I watched Chris. Damn it! What is Chris's last name? Shit. I'm gonna. God, what is Chris's last name from Errant Signal? Chris Campster is his Twitter name and his tag name. What is Chris's last name? The guy that he's a fantastic game reviewer who made a video last year that I don't know if sadness is what I felt. I just kind of felt like, oh man. I felt like, oh man, I wish that were different. Sadness isn't the right word because he's definitely successful at what he does. It's just he's not like I look at what he does and I value that in my world of how I value things. And then I look at what an IGN does. And I can tell you, and this isn't a hit against IGN, a lot of dope people have come out of there and they're fine. A lot of dope people still there. But if IGN shut down tomorrow, I probably wouldn't notice it. But if Chris stopped making stuff, I'd be bothered. But we live in a universe where the way, I guess, regular humans or other humans other than me who make a majority on the internet, let's say that way, they don't necessarily have to be all that different, I guess. But I guess they just value that differently. Like when I look at what Chris does and some of the games he's introduced me to that I've gone on to play, like I never would have even... I mean, some of the stuff he introduced me to in the indie scene. And now I know developers like, oh, I just talked to one of my friends, man. I told you guys, Mega Cat Studios is the name of the studio. And I'm, acquaintances, internet friends with the guy who owns the joint. And I was helping him a couple years ago, just giving him some advice and trying to help him with the marketing side of his business. He is now one of the developers that got tapped by the Angry Video Game Nerd to make their games, which I hit him up. I saw that. Angry Video Game Nerd put out the video, and they named my boy's company. And I immediately was like, dude, I didn't even know he was working on that. And I hit him up like, bro, I just saw it. Like, all I got to say is congratulations. I don't want nothing from you because I know you're probably busy as hell. I don't want to take up none of your time. I just want to say we love you. I tell all my people about you, Love to see people win like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's just the universe where IGN wins and Chris Campster from Errant Signal makes a video saying he's probably never going to get to the place where that part of his life, because he's a programmer, he's like, that part of my life would never make him enough money, to live. And I was like, it doesn't really make me sad. It's not like he's starving. He's got a career. But I know how dope his stuff could be and how much he would probably enjoy doing that. And maybe he loves his programming career and doesn't want to leave it. I don't know how it works. But it's like, that's kind of sad when you think about it. And IGN can get flooded with all of this attention that they're paying for, by the way. Most of the time, the companies that win are the ones that just pay for it. And they can pay more than you can to get the attention. That's how all music works, by the way. All these artists you think are super talented. I won't name names, but I can tell you, like, artists know that the people who are at the king's positions, not that they're not talented, but if you were just to evaluate them against other players, it'd be like, word? That's who, like, the universe has to be saved by the best singer, and you're going to send, that's who you're sending up there? But the people who get the more money behind them and can get in front of more, ears and play the game usually get the love. And it's just, to me, that's kind of sad. It's like, I think what Chris does is more valuable than what IGN brings to the table. But, that's also very selfish. It's more valuable to me. Who the hell am I to decide what's valuable, what's not valuable? Oh shit, they can get up there? Thought I had the high ground, baby. You do not have the high ground, ho. All this exploring about to get your ass whooped. You better come on. Now what, hoes? Now what? All in your ass is what's about to be what. Now I gotta use my middle finger because my index finger's still not right. Are you running, hoes? Punk bitches. Scared ass wolves. Now I got the high ground. Nobody wants to fight. Now that I have a tactical advantage, y'all get to run away. I see. Not allowed to fight smart. I gotta fight dumb. Because that's the only way you can make it hard. I got it. There you go. Come on. Get your wolf ass up here. Would you please lock on? Mother whore. Gotcha. Now come on. Alright, let's move down one. Jump, ho! What are you doing? Pussy! I knew he was gonna run. I was like, let me kill him. Let's see, Suba says, you are in a plane crash and cannibal mutants kidnap. Oh, shit. Survival horror. Okay, that's definitely... Is that the game where you're in the frozen tundra? Is that the forest? It's like all frozen out there? Or maybe that's frozen. I don't know anything. I need to stop asking questions. Clem says, I'm not staying long. I have to go out tonight. You have to go out tonight or you get to go out tonight? Have to go out implies that you're not going to have a good time. Are you being dragged out there, Clem? Kicking and screaming? Kicking and screaming. Yeah, remind me to tell you, and I actually thought about titling tonight's video. So last night, Game Therapy set a record for attendance. And it was really cool. We had a good time. And during one of these streams, I'll talk through, for those of you who are interested in building like social media stuff and getting a following, I'm going to pass on some of the reasons why that happens, and then like, but how I'm actually going to tell the story is I'm going to walk you guys through all the things that I've done that have quote unquote failed, so that you can learn from the mistakes I made. And because I'll tell you if I can help you avoid spending time doing the wrong things, it'll be just as valuable in some cases, if not as valuable, as me telling you all the things I did right. Because sometimes you can do 9 things right out of a 10 variable situation, and that one variable is the thing that's throwing off the whole thing is being thrown off by this one piece. Like, for example, my Good Life playbook that I ran for a good while had a lot of attendance, had a lot of people go through it, and a lot of success, but it wasn't the success that I knew it had the potential to have. And it was because of not necessarily mistakes, probably more flaws in my personality and overestimating my abilities in some cases. And so I'll walk you guys through all that, man. Help you out with your social medias. You can avoid some of the boneheaded mistakes I've made. And I'll even take you guys back to before social media, when I was building just regular online communities. And just really not, back then, not having a stronger understanding of just humans and psychology like I have now, and just how humans operate, and especially non-soldier humans. Like, I really had to learn. It's quite a bit of culture shock to leave the combatant military. Shit, dude. This motherfucker is playing for keeps. It's quite a bit of culture shock to leave the combatant side of the military and then to come into the civilian world. Like, no one really tells you, and maybe it's because they don't recognize it because they don't spend as much time observing people as I do, just how different the mindsets are of the people in those two worlds. And so I had to learn. Like, I remember one time sitting in a meeting with an executive in a company, and literally the thing I was asked to do was help them. And this is after I'd been in the military. They wanted me to help them get more attendance at these events that they were doing. And I said, well, it's simple. You're the boss. You make it, that's their place of duty for the next couple of hours. You make it mandatory. I said, you're paying them. Just make it mandatory for them to be there. And then, obviously they're adults. They can have an excuse if they need to miss it to go do business or do work. And it was literally like a wrestling match with this human because they didn't want to be the human that made anything mandatory because of how the people would respond. I said, the people will actually respond with respect for you because you'll be the first boss that had the courage to tell them, hey, this is important enough for me to give you an order. And I expect you to be there, and this is the value that I'm going to bring. And what ended up happening is exactly that. When this person got on stage and did what we told them to do, the whole audience loved him. And I said, that's what I was trying to tell you. But, just this, we gotta encourage them. And, like, fuck encouragement. Tell their black asses to be there, and they'll be there. Like, I couldn't understand how that civilian, we've got a softer side of Sears all the time, and everybody needs a goddamn hug. It was just like, I need to not work here. Because that's too soft. Like, I get that nobody here has got to worry about getting shot, so I don't need to be like hardcore, but damn, you need people to be you're doing this meeting for their benefit. Fuck them. Tell them to be here. And so, like, little stuff like that, people just don't tell you. Like, people think differently about shit. And when you're a combatant and you're trained to hunt, I think most people are trained to avoid being hunted instead of being trained to hunt. And I think that's kind of the oil and water of civilian and warrior culture. It's like, yeah, civilian culture does have issues with us because we can hunt. It's like, we don't look that much different from the threat that you sent us to protect you from. So as soon as you're done with us, you'll discard us, as every generation does. All right, let's see what they're talking about over here. Let's see, Clem says, no, I'm going out with my niece to watch Spider-Man. There's a new Spider-Man out? Damn. That's cool. I didn't even know they were still making Spider-Man. Clem says, tomorrow, a part of me doesn't, but I want to, even though I know I will feel welcome. Or you're going to see Spider-Man tomorrow. Okay, not today. There's a small section of the map that has ice, and it's a game with a temp. Yeah, okay, yeah, so no, it's not the game I'm thinking of. Terry says, that's what happens when you play on the hardest difficulty. Yeah. Very much. Thank you. Thank you, Terry, for your astute observation. I see Clem says, all right, we're stronger than I. You might not see me tomorrow. Hey, why won't I see you tomorrow? What's going on tomorrow? So is this Spider-Man movie's tomorrow and that's why I'm not going to see you? But you said you had to go out tonight. So is Spider-Man tonight or are you doing something else tomorrow? Or are you having to watch Spider-Man twice? Have you been kidnapped, Clement, or are you safe? Are you in any danger? Are you sending us code that we need to respond to, bro? Make sure you're safe out there. Can't have people kidnapping my people and forcing them to watch dumbass comic book movies. I hear the things. Hey, shit, I hear you, but don't see you. Goddamn, can I get some field of view? Ho asshole. How about that, bitch? Yeah, ho. You don't know me. Can a brother get a field of view up in this joint that's a little zoomed out? I never like, can we zoom video games out, please? This is too close. I have no peripheral vision. In real life right now, I can see that directly to my right is another part of this room where things are stored behind a door. I can see that. In this game, I can't see shit because it's too zoomed in, and this is 2D. It's not actually 3D, it's an illusion. Felipe Courtois, or Courtois, says, or Courteau, warriors being discarded. That shit's crazy. Well, it happens in every society, bro. The only time society celebrates its warriors is when they need them to do something dangerous. That's when we're all heroes and there's parades and thank the troops and all that shit. And that shit ain't happening during no fucking pandemic. That ain't happening when the threat ain't something you gotta. It's not a meat grinder that you can throw us into. And then, by the way, that's not like a resentment, like society has forgotten us. It's just the way society is. Most people, most humans, at least a little bit of a psychology that I do understand, we don't care about things that don't affect us directly emotionally. So if I've never had a family member that's been in the military or lost a friend in battle or had to go fight a war myself, I'm not going to have a whole lot of empathy for the people that do that. I'm not going to understand anything about their life. The same way I couldn't understand someone that's a wedding planner. That literally, if somebody woke me up tomorrow and says, B, for the rest of your life, you are a wedding planner. This is going in my guts and I'm cutting everything out. On whatever platform hates that type of stuff the most, it's going to be a public execution of myself. Because I don't want to understand that world. I would rather shoot myself than be a fucking wedding planner. Like, catering to entitled people just ain't my shit. Right? No thank you. But there's people who are amazing at building, like I say, it's catering to entitled people. For the wedding planner, it's not that. It's putting together an event that brings joy and happiness to tons of women and men if they're drunk. You know what I mean? Like, that's a joy. That's a thing. That's a thing that I think is beneficial, and that's a skill. I don't have that skill. And so I wouldn't have a lot of empathy for the struggles of a wedding planner, other than I get it and I'd want to shoot myself. Why did you ever get into the career of dealing with shitty entitled people? Did you not get enough hugs when you were a kid? Is that why you're planning events for people? That sounds like self-hatred to me. But I don't know enough. I don't have enough knowledge of the situation to be fully empathetic. So yeah, there you go. But so no, I don't mean like they just get rid of us. There are plenty of things in place to help veterans in society, and I think everybody voted and agreed that those were good ideas, right? So no, I don't think society completely discards us. I just say the general in general, what a populace values isn't what a warrior brings to the table. Unless the populace is in danger of war, is the only time they really give a shit about the warrior. So I'm saying it's kind of appropriate, not like a resentful, they don't love us enough. It's not that. It's, yeah, I signed up to do a thing that's very specific and only needed in very horrible situations. I probably shouldn't expect that the whole world is going to, you know, throw me parades and freaking orgies for the rest of my life. I got it. You know, I am not Tom Brady. I've never brought that much joy to somebody's life. You know, and you could argue that what I did was technically more important than what Tom Brady does, but is it? Because your wallets disagree. You pay Tom Brady a lot more than you pay your Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, I mean that. Like, and I'm okay with the fact that you value dopamine over your perceived safety. So no, I don't mean it like, no, it's sad that society discards us. It's just, it was funny to come home to parades for a week and then immediately go into complete indifference. Oh, you're in the war? That's fine. Well, you're just, can you, we need you to clean up aisle 7. All right, I'll do it. Not above cleaning up aisle 7. Let's get in there. I'll 7 up. But no, the more important point there was just learning how to communicate in a civilian society was hard for me because I didn't grow up in civilian society. My father was in the military, so I grew up around people who were, for lack of a better way to say it, just a little grittier than the humans I'm used to dealing with in the regular world now. They just were tougher. They weren't as easily bothered by things that to me seem superfluous or insignificant. But that doesn't mean they're superfluous or insignificant objectively. They just are to me. Terry says, I find that society puts life above living. Bro, I think I've never heard a more wise statement. That's, if you mean what I think you mean by that, because it's such an esoteric statement that's hard to make black. Like, if I'm taking away what you mean by that statement, that's really, really wise and accurate. It's like we value, and by the way, if you want a book that backs that up, read Simulacra and Simulation by Jean Baudrillard. And accept the fact that French writers pontificate way more than I do on this show. But, like, we value the image of something more than we value the thing itself, right? Like, we value things like dignity and honor, but we make kids not say words in school. But that's not dignity and honor. That same kid that didn't say fuck pulled somebody's hair on the playground because he's not being taught how to, like, yes, he's very polished and has all the Victorian era, you know, rich white people bullshit that we've been told we have to do to be members of civilized society. First of all, fuck you. And the Victorian era. Like, no. Because he follows those rules, he's a good person. But he's a piece of shit. Like, if he's a piece of shit, but he doesn't say fuck. Like, if you're worried about people saying fuck, first of all, can we trade lives? Because it means you are living the most privileged life any person's ever seen. If you're at the point where words are making you lose your shit, you're living a great life. A great life. You are winning if words are the only thing you're worrying about hurting you tonight. You know? So anyway, I think you make a really wise statement there, Terry. Terry says, God forbid people die, but if they're suffering, that's okay. Well said, man. Terry says, whereas as a soldier, you put living above life. You know the value of living and are willing to put your life. Yeah, 100%. That's coming from someone who's never been a soldier. You see that? That's empathy, people. That's empathy and observation. Let's everybody have more of that. Well said, Terry. Good point. Felipe says, I did wedding work for a while. That stuff's draining and unrewarding. Yeah, dude. Well, first of all, you're a dude. So I think you probably lack enough feminine energy, unless you're an atypical man who's more feminine, which is fine. I'm more feminine than the average dude. So I could probably do wedding planning better than fucking Jocko Willink, but we're still both going to end with a shotgun in our mouths if you make us fucking wedding planners. That ends with a lot of vodka and suicide. I'm sorry. We not allowed to joke about that? I'm sorry. I'm joking about me, not anybody else. Anyway. Is everybody offended yet? Good. Hurry up and get offended. Hurry up and get offended so we can get to the shit that actually matters. Alright. Wait. I just ran through the woods trying to be slick on some exploratory horseshit, and then I ended up actually where I'm supposed to be? How did that happen? That never happens to me in these games. What in the name of our sweet Lord Jesus? Yeah, dude, wedding work. Like, I've done a lot of seemingly thankless things in my life, but I did them because they brought me joy. Like helping people, even if they're not in a place. Like I'll give you an example. I helped a woman today who could not thank me, and I wasn't looking for things. I came out of the hospital, getting my finger taken care of, which, by the way, I'm not going to lose my finger. I still can't really use it effectively because it's wrapped up in this thing, but I'm not losing my finger. We're keeping it. I come out of the hospital today, and we'll see what this guy's talking about here in a second. And viewer and listener discretion is advised. This is going to get a little gross. If you're easily grossed out, we're going there. I walk out from my very pleasant hospital stay, one of the most pleasant I've ever had. Hospitals trigger me. I hate going to them. That's why I didn't go to the ER. I basically triaged myself when I ripped my finger basically off. And then when I got to the doctor, they're like, you actually did a pretty good job. Like, the only thing we would have done better is stitch you so it healed faster, but not bad. No, you didn't do it bad. I was like, well, my wife did most of it. Let me not take credit for it. She's the healer in our family. But I'm coming out of the hospital, and there's a woman outside of her car, hands and knees in the grass, just projectile vomiting. And nobody's helping her. And I'm like, ma'am, are you all right? No response, which means no, she's not the fuck all right. Get help. So I was like, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do for that. I'm not a doctor. So I run back towards the hospital, and then I see another man running out with a wheelchair. I'm like, okay. I was like, are you with? He's like, yes. And I was like, do you need help? And he's just like, deer in the headlights. I have no fucking clue. I'm like, that means yes. So I run behind him, and all I did was hold the wheelchair so he could get her in it, because he couldn't get her body up. They were both small people. And so I was like basically using my body up against the wheelchair so it wouldn't roll down the street while they were trying to help. And it's just like, I don't mind that type of thing. Like, I'm not expecting a thank you for that. I'm doing that because I'm a human. And I hope to God that if I'm on all fours projectile vomiting, that some other human's going to give enough of a shit about me for 5 seconds to say, hey, at least this is happening in front of a hospital, but I should probably check on you anyway. Right? Because you're at the hospital, but you didn't make it in before you collapsed. So, you know, it's more just selfishness, you know. But it's, why would anybody sign up to take care of fucking entitled people who are a pain in the ass? I think you have to have a different personality that's willing to, like, give yourself to people that undervalue you. And I won't. It's like, I'm not giving my soul and my time to people that ain't worth that shit. Have y'all seen my wife? Have you seen the motherfuckers I actually keep like, the people who teach me that I'm maybe a decent person? We'll find out at the end, hopefully. I'm working on being good. Every day I'm trying to get a little better. But the people I see that are in my life that are kind of the signal that, hey, maybe I'm not a complete piece of shit. If these people are around and don't want to leave me, and they know my deepest, darkest everything, and they're not running for the hills, maybe I'm okay. So it's like, why would I submit myself for anything that I do? And I made this video a couple weeks ago about art. It was like, as an artist, man, y'all need to be careful who you're giving your art away to. And it's like that lyric on the Madden soundtrack that really punched me in the face when I heard that kid say it, because I've been where he's at. And he part of his lyric was, I ain't never had no money. I've been out here trying to give me away. And I remember that phase of my business journey, even in my career, you know, where it's like, I'm out here slinging this dope, you know, and these things I'm trying to give people for free just to say, are you willing to pay attention to me for 5 seconds? And it's like, you can do that for a while, but if the market is regularly telling you, hey, your shit ain't that valuable, stop taking it to the goddamn market, you know. And that's what I had to do, which was, I see great value in my shit, but some of the other things that I was bringing to market, the world just was, So, like, why, artists, would you sign up, you know, in your case, to give part of yourself away to someone that undervalues you? And I think by doing that makes you valued less in the market the more you do it. So be careful who you give your heart to. Even if it's just your art that you're giving away, it's still a piece of you. Give it to people that, you know, and, you know, give it to people who are going to give you harsh criticism too, because harsh criticism is just another version of love, because that person didn't have to say shit to you. Now, if they're being an asshole and mean about it, that's different. That's just being an asshole. But if someone's telling you, hey, you know, because I've worked with musicians who were told by other more accomplished musicians, and they didn't like hearing it. Like, hey, your shit ain't good enough yet, homie. You got to put some more work on this. This isn't gonna sell. And I've watched musicians like Buck, like, what do you mean? I'm just as good as Beyonce. And it's like, you're not. Like, Beyonce is a monster. You know. You ain't. Did you run 7 miles on the treadmill this morning while you were doing your singing, doing your set for the show, so that you can have the wind to get through your show? Yeah, I don't think you did that. When you start doing that, I'll put you on the level with Beyonce. You know, but it's like, you know, people out there trying to give their art, and like, harsh critique can be good for you, because it's like, yo, that's not good enough. You need to bring something better. But, you know, if you know your stuff's dope and you're just bringing it to a place that undervalues you, Take that somewhere else, man. All right, let's get back to it. Keeleon.
Be gone, demon!
What is it you're saying?
You're a man, not a demon, right?
That you figured out well.
Oh, Enos be praised. A human. I'm Killian. I was the battle. Oh, Enos, the battle. I want to go home.
Then come with me. I'll take you to the castle.
Come with you? Oh, no way.
So Terry says civilian lives are protected. A soldier's life isn't. So when you go into a world where people are protected, of course there's a culture shock. Yes, that's a very astute observation on your part. That is actually one of the most challenging things to deal with civilians about, is they're all scared of everything. It's like they are all way more excitable and scared. And then the shit we're scared of as warriors doesn't even land on their radar. Like, what are you worried about? Like, okay, I've been in a place where this goes south. White lady that's lived in privilege her whole life and never been at a club where motherfuckers get stabbed. Like, you might want to have some vigilance at some point in your life, or we're going to be listening about you on the news, you know. And I don't mean to bring race into it. Obviously, there's people of all races who are privileged. But I've actually had that conversation with... I'm telling stories from my real life where a white lady said to me, what do you mean you can't wear sandals to a concert? Because if I got to run, motherfucker, I'm not running in sandals. What concerts are you at that you have to run? Okay, you've just never been where I've been. Like, enjoy Dave Matthews. Like, I'm sure they don't shoot anybody there. You know, like I've done shows where they have to do metal detectors on people. You know? So it's like, yo, I got it. You don't come from that world, lady. But it's a very astute observation, like just the fear of the removal of safety, whereas a warrior lives without safety. So it's not something we really value that much. We value our strength because our strength creates the safety that the civilians are always trying to build these walls around themselves. It's like, why don't you just get actual stronger and then you become the wall that nobody fucks with? Like, instead of being offended by words, why not be stronger than the words people... Like, yeah, I've had dudes drive past me in a pickup truck with a Confederate flag and yell nigger at me from the back of the, you know, pickup truck when I was going into my job to pick up my check. That's happened to me. It's like, but that's not going to be the defining moment in my life that these cowards... Like, first of all, there's more of you and you're in a truck. You didn't even have the courage to step to me on the streets. Pussies. You know? Like... I would have had more respect for you to kick my ass. I'm glad they didn't, but, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm used to living in a world where that kind of shit happens. So this need to be, you know, to constantly build these walls of safety from having my feelings hurt, it's like my feelings get hurt all the time. I'm used to dealing with hurt feelings and understanding how to process it so I don't have to go through life in a bubble. And that's been my biggest conflict in trying to deal with people who don't have that intestinal fortitude and that strength. They've been kind of coddled into that level of weakness where it's like anything can hurt this person. It's like, Jesus, I'm not even trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. But that's a good observation, Terry. And he goes on to say, because we civilians don't think about whether or not we are going to die tomorrow. We are more concerned with our well-being and our feelings. Yes, whereas, you know, somebody on the battlefield doesn't think about death every day, but has accepted, usually, at least I'll speak from my personal experience, I had accepted the day before we started firing weapons, I had accepted that I was probably dead. Not that I thought I was going to die, but I knew some of the missions that were coming up, I had been briefed. And it was like, all right, there's a good chance I'm getting out of this one dead, so let's play the game. Let's play the game for my guys, and let's try to do the best I can to keep them square and keep them alive. And if I make it about, cool. But they've got to be the priority, you know. And you just get to that place. You get to that place of accepting. All right, if I'm dying, let me do everything I can to get these guys right. And then, thankfully, the night where I thought I was going to get killed, the fight we were afraid of didn't happen because we had created so much destruction getting to that fight that the people we thought would be there had moved to another position where they didn't have the tactical advantage to try to kill us. You know, so. Luckily, that the situation I was afraid of never happened, but that was a real thing. I thought daily about, all right, this mission's probably the one where I get it. How do I get out of this shit alive? And more importantly, how do I get my team through it and do my job, and then maybe hopefully get myself out of it alive? Terry says, if you have no life problems, you'll find a life problem. You'll make one. I mean, that's exactly what I won't even call it a culture. I don't think it deserves that much respect, but this cancel entity that everyone's so kind of afraid of, right? It's cowardly young people usually being pushed by cowardly old people, and these young people are looking for a sense of purpose, right? And to have your sense of purpose, to go do good, you have to have a bad guy to fight. And the uneducated people are always looking, who's the bad guy? Like, there isn't one. Humanity just kind of sucks right now, and we're working on it. And we've been up to it for about 6 million years. This is as good as we got. Let's keep building on it instead of continuing to yell at each other. Like, let's keep reading and learning new shit. You know, instead of focusing on all the shit that's wrong with us, let's make some things right. But that's a really good point. Like, I watch people invent, like, people are inventing villains so they can have somebody to tear down. Because they don't, what else are they doing? They work, you know, they stock the fucking Shasta at 7-Eleven. What other purpose do they have? You know? What other adventure is their life going to go on? And if they don't have one, they'll make, I mean, and I'll give you an example of people who did that where it was a little bit less narcissistic, was World War I. You had young people lying about their age, not because they were so patriotic and just wanted to save the world. For some of them, it was just, get me off this fucking Dust Bowl farm that I live on, where they were probably, their life expectancy was probably about 40 anyway. Fuck it, if they're dying, go have some fun. You know? Go to a war, fuck it. You know? That's what the marketers probably told him to sell him into that shit. Just go to a war. Fuck it. You'll be a hero. You get laid. And they were like, that's better than dying on this farm. Which, the dying's dying. Just so you know. It sucks all the way around. But yeah, no, you make a good point, Terry. So when you see these people who are easily offended, those people are living a good life. Yeah, if anybody's easily offended, well, they're living a good and a bad life. They're living a privileged life in terms of their access to resource, because they're not worried about things like subsistence. Because if they were worried about subsistence, words wouldn't bother them at all. They'd be worried about starving. But they're living a bad life too, because they've been psychologically coddled by shitty parents. So now anything is capable of hurting them because they have no strength. They have no resilience to the world of people that are going to hate on them for any reason. You know? Forget about the protected reasons people aren't allowed to hate. People are going to find, like, I've been telling people for years, fuck race. As soon as all the humans are mixed up enough, probably in the next 50 to 100 years, the next thing that's coming, and y'all can pull this fucking video up, this video game video, and you can say, well, he said it. You know, you want to know the next racism that's coming? Augmenteeism. That's the next racism. Oh, you don't have the DIP 12 9000 eyeballs that they installed in me that let me see 6 miles? What are you, poor? That's going to be, the next discrimination is going to be the humans that don't get turned into robots. So you'll have the robots versus the non-robots, and there'll be whole new religions started because humans are fucking idiots. We do the same shit. I mean, we started religions in America, if you don't believe that. Democrats and Republicans is a goddamn religion. Listen to the people screaming about it. And then listen to the rational people trying to actually solve shit. One of these things is not like the other. Right? Like, everybody I listen to that has any level of rationale can talk intelligently about those things without taking a definitive, I am on this, like, they can see, well, they actually made a good point over here. Cool. But I like this one. Like, I have friends that are politicians. They're some of the most balanced people ever. You know? And they don't play I don't know how he tried to get me to be a politician. I'm like, how the fuck did you get elected? You don't lie at all. He's like, bruh, I just told the truth. And apparently I was crazy enough that these people wanted me in there. I was like, how the hell did you get elected to do anything? You're a fucking, like, you're an abusive, like, gorilla. Why the fuck did he's like, that's what they wanted, I guess. It's like, all right. An intelligent lawyer of a gorilla, but still, like, what the fuck? Like, he'll cuss people out in a fucking Senate hearing. Like, he told a woman once who was being belligerent with him, he's like, lady, I'm going to tell you something that nobody's ever told you in your life, and you're going to thank me for it. Shut the fuck up. He said that in a hearing. I was like, that's my dude. He's like, nobody in your life has the courage to tell you this because they're all scared of you. I'm going to give you the best advice anyone's ever given you. Shut the fuck up. I was like, that is the best story ever. Oh, man. But yeah, man. Good points, Terry. You're on it tonight, man. When you see someone whose biggest problem is trying to find a soulmate, they're living a good life. Yes! Yes! Like, I'll remind you, I've been in places where I didn't think I was going to see the next day. I wasn't thinking about, I mean, sir, I was thinking about my soulmate because I was already with her. Whether or not I got laid that night wasn't on my mind. It's like, I just hope I get to see that lady again. How about that? Yep, all good points, Terry. I love it, man.
Come with me.
Because of the demons.
The demons.
They've been roaming at the entrance, growling. Dark fur, sharp teeth, and blazing eyes. Slobber dripping from their lips. Bloody slobber.
Well, Terry, you have a community full of people that are more than willing to help you kill those problems if you need us, man. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need something. Assuming we have it to give.
I'll take care of the demons.
Really? Will you do this? Are you really so brave?
Yes, damn it. Let me guess. Do these demons of yours howl to the moon at night?
That's what they do. It's some frightening demonic howl.
There are no demons, they're wolves.
Demon wolves?
Howl like dogs. That kind of wolves.
Whoever
Wait
wrote
here.
this character
I'll
really
deal with them in
understood
return for you.
humanity. Demon wolves? Like, no, that's not what I said. You know what? I'm going to stop talking. The more I keep talking to this dumbass, the worse this is going to get. Alright, where are these demons I'm supposed to be killing at? Is it not through here? With the pickaxe or whatever I'm doing? Alright, what do you want? Wait, I already killed wolves. I already did that, didn't I?
Did you kill the beasts?
Still on it. Just
Okay, I guess I didn't. I thought I killed these wolves, or does the game spawn new demon wolves after we had this conversation? Because I killed the wolves out here already, didn't I? I mean, I killed the one that was standing here. Oh, there's more wolves up the hill. I see it. More wolves, ladies and gentlemen. Too far away, too far away. I'm about to throw a Hadouken right in your neck, ho. You ain't getting away from me. Bow! All in your ass, wolf. Wolf ass. Dead ass wolf. I love this dude's hops, man. He got hops, Jesus. I'm using hops. I see you, wolf. Oh, punk ass wolf. Listen, man, I'm partying. That was weeks ago, mother. Oh, pussy wolf. Not to be confused with wolf pussy. Gotcha, biatch. Alright, now back to the hops, baby. Now back to the hops that I was praising the game for. White men can jump, ho. Watch them. Alright, let's save. And then let's see if the AI of this wolf is smart enough to attack me from up above instead of down below. Yeah, that demon wolves line, Terry. That's textbook dumbass humans. Demon wolves? No, that's not what I said, you dumbass. And the wolf is actually smart enough to come to the high ground. Hallelujah. You get some, wolf. All in your ass, wolf. Killing wolves, ho. They don't want to see me. I'm too real. How many more wolves need killing around here? Where's the other killing wolf? That you killing wolf? Need to get a zoom in out here. Can a brother get a table dance? What's going on? Alright, let's save real quick so I don't have to redo this whole fight. Keep an eye on the time. Make sure I don't keep y'all's too late. This looks like someone's just in the crib, but is it a demon wolf, or did he actually walk all the way here while I was killing demon wolves? Oh no, that's Senator Palpatine. What's going on, homie? Senator! Let's get these chests full of the treasure. She got a treasure chest? Take it all, brother. Take it all. I got to tell these stupid... Alright, one more save. Lisa, how you doing tonight? I saw you chimed in. Felipe, how you living? I know Terry's here. Terry's doing all right. Terry says, I will say that Growlancer Heritage of War may be the sort of game that gets on your nerves, B. Why so? Because it's a game I've kept an eye on for probably... When did that come out? 2005? So 15, 16 years? And I've always said it looks like one of those Final Fantasy 12-ish games where the party runs up and you've already programmed them to do their fighting or whatever. And I like that. I love the not micromanaging. I don't mind micromanaging as long as I don't have to manage too many things and it's robust and it's intuitive. Like Final Fantasy X's level of micromanagement I'm okay with, because it's more like playing a chess game where I have access to all my players. I know what moves work against what things because the game actually goes out of its way to teach it to you if you hadn't been playing Final Fantasy up to that point. And so you've got kind of a good rhythm for, okay, I'm going to need Kimari's move for this next thing. Let me go ahead and get, let's see, do I want Yuna to cast a buff so she can get some XP? Let me, and then I'll switch Kimari in, he'll do his thing. Like, I like that. When I feel like I'm playing chess. And that's why I don't hate the isometric RPGs that are all micromanagement. Because it feels like a chess game. It's not obtuse puzzle solving, let's try to figure out a stupid puzzle micromanagement. It's, hey, you kind of either intuitively will know what to do or know things to try that are effective, and we'll just give you a little bit of freedom to screw around with it. So what about Growlancer? I've never known how to say that, is the thing you think will piss me off. You are the guy, Terry, because this is a game I've been secretly watching for so many years and just haven't got it. I don't own it, first of all. That's probably part of the reason why I haven't played it. But I never bought it because it was like, am I going to like that game? And then the PlayStation 2 generation kind of went out the window, thank Jesus. And then Xbox 360 started actually making games I liked. So I wasn't stuck playing, a Japanese console, from 2 generations that for me made games that I really didn't love.
Hey, you! Listen here. Listen.
What do you want?
I need mushrooms for my experiments.
Mushrooms? Experiment?
I'll explain everything. I'll reveal the secrets of...
Speak.
Deadly more. They need blood.
Wait!
There was a battle. Northeast of here, yes? There you'll find more. When the blood of the fallen soaks the ground.
If you already know where they grow, go...
The little creatures...
Well, if I come across any of these bloody
fungi? Deadly morals. Deadly morals.
You correct me one more time, I'll put my foot in your ass. You don't know me. Deadly moral your ass.
Take it easy.
Okay, so I don't have them yet, and he wasn't the guy I was supposed to talk to right now. So, we will head back down the hill, show these hookers that we're not a game. Sweet hooker standing in the river, going and saying you thought the song was over because I kept singing. No, it was just a pause for effect to let your brain take a rest so I could come back with the jokes. Let's see. Lisa says, got to the deep cleanse of the bedroom and now I'm getting creative with paint. Paint skin? Dried paint. Adding it to a painting. It's like a puzzle, and I'm digging it. Sweet. Malta Master says, dude, Terry. Like, I know you too well to know that you're going to... Oh, hold on. Let me go back up to your previous statements. There's some missions where if you don't use a guide, you will probably fail. Okay, that's annoying. Definitely, thank you for that. Tag says, oh boy, science says I'm an honest guy. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Terry says, there's quite a lot of micromanagement in some of them. Like, it depends on the mission. Some of them aren't that bad, but others, yeah, you're going to be micromanaging a lot. It's going to be one of those games where you have some fun-in bits and some annoying bits, gameplay-wise. It all depends on the mission objectives. Got it. Like, I know you too well to know that you're going to be aggravated at times. Okay, so it's a game that I'll probably still collect and try, but I will certainly just keep my expectations low. Just expect it to be one of those games where I'm like, alright, this is mediocre, but I don't mind finishing it. I'll get through it. You know, especially, is it something that would work well on a stream? Like, does it have a story that's hilarious or bad in ways that I can make fun of? Is that usually the stories that have really bad parts? Because God of War is hard to make fun of because the writing is so good in some places. Where there's some things I easily can make fun of the game because Kratos is a buffoon at times, but it's like, ah! So is Malta one of your homies, Terry? First of all, welcome, Malta. Thanks for coming out.
Kill the beast.
If you're friends with Terry, you're a friend of ours. That is for sure.
You don't need to be afraid anymore. I dealt with the wolves.
Need to get my
Really?
Jerry curl activator
Trust me.
going here. AKA the stuff that keeps me from sweating out of my clothes.
I can return to
I
the
have the
castle
air conditioner
soon.
on too because
Do
it's so
so.
hot. It's like 70 degrees today. It's still locked. I wasn't paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing with this guy. Killion. Alright, I saw another gaggle of wolves. And now I just sprayed that stuff on me, which means now it's going to leave marks on my glasses. Which I don't know how any of you that have to wear glasses for real do it. This is a nightmare, trying to keep these things clean. I would, like, I just, OCD wouldn't let me have glasses. Because one smudge, I'd be like, you motherfucker! I'll kill you! And I almost did. Almost killed these glasses tonight. Corey Towns in the house. What's up, home? Why? So yeah, note to self, don't spray your face with glasses on. Oh, my night's going fantastic, man. Got to the doctor to get my finger, you know, checked out to make sure I'm not going to lose it. I'm not. I'm going to get to keep my finger, and it's going to heal pretty well. And in fact, the doctor kind of complimented me. They're like, hey, the triage you did on your hand was actually pretty good. You're not bad. Like, if we would have done it, you'd heal faster, but we don't really need to do anything to your hand but clean it, re-bandage it, and tell you to go home. You did a good job. Thanks for paying us to tell you shit you already knew how to do. It's like, oh, I should have been a doctor. Shit, I'm good at this. Tag says, it was unusually warm over here in Ohio, too. Spent the day packing stuff up and packing the shed fuller. Word up. Tag says, clean them constantly. See, I'm not a clean constantly kind of guy. I'm not a good person that has to... Like, I wouldn't be good with pets. They require too much maintenance. I need things that only need maintenance, like, once a month. Like my office. I clean it. You know, I vacuum it probably more often, but, like, actually needing to come in here and clean, because for the most part, even though there is a lot of stuff here, it's mostly organized and mostly clean. Like, I need to vacuum this week. I've been in here a lot. Right? So... I don't want to have to clean this daily. That's ridiculous. I keep it clean daily, but I don't want to have to manage it. So what you're telling me is having glasses is like Japanese role-playing games. Got it. It's like I love Final Fantasy 12 because it does require micromanagement, but like once every couple of hours. It's not micromanagement. It requires a manager once every couple of hours to check in and make sure all our gambits are accurate for the fight. Are we good, boss? Actually, Final Fantasy 12 was the most feeling like an actual fighting a war of a game I'd ever played, because it was like, oh, I have teams, members that are skilled at different things, and if I'm the battlefield leader, I can deploy those teammates to focus exclusively on what they're great at, and we can be a dynamite team. I was like, who came up with this gambit system? They were ahead of their time. I wish that guy made all the RPGs. And then we found out, oh no, everybody hates his RPGs. Oh, well. I think I'm finding out what most people call good taste is very subjective. I don't think there's a such thing as good taste. I really don't. Because the shit I think is good, the world very much disagrees. So either I have really bad taste, which is, I guess, possible. Maybe I just have bad taste. But then again, who's making that determination? Who's the bad taste committee? Now that's a complete fight right there. I got to use all my abilities as a part of that battle. And I think that's the testament to, you know, this game's very simple, but it's well designed. It's like they created fights where you're going to be outnumbered, and if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, good luck surviving that. But if you know, okay, wait a minute, I'm at distance, let me fight from distance. Great. When they get closer, use your spells that can freeze them. Great. Then you, like... The combat system in this game is just really well thought out. And maybe what people hated is that it's very basic and there's not a lot of things to level up in this game. I thought that was a good thing. I think for years, and maybe this is partially Bethesda's fault, like games let you level up like I'm going to level up my shoe tying ability. Why? I don't need all that. Just give me a couple of spells. Give me like one set of armor that I can level up for the whole game and make it stronger whenever I want. Good, man. I don't need a looter shooter. I'm not a dopamine addict. At least not with video games, I guess. I don't need it. I don't need to constantly be getting new things to kick off my dopamine meter. The old things I have are just fine. Uh-oh, are these the... What the hell is that? Oh. It's a warrior of the corpse eaters. Those goblins homeboy was talking about, I reckon. Let's see, Tag says, yes, having glasses is like playing a JRPG. Hella tedious, but if you don't do the tedium, then you don't enjoy the rest of everything the world has to offer. Okay, well, thank you for making sure that I will never need glasses. Because I think I'll have a nervous breakdown if I have to wear these all day. See, the regular battles where you grind are pretty much the same thing as Final Fantasy 12. So that's what I thought. I've always thought that, but nobody that I can remember ever just answered that for me, basically. Thank you. I've been trying to figure that out for years. And I'm sure somebody else answered it and I just forgot. But now, that's awesome. The issues will show up in the missions where you have win-loss. Oh, like if you didn't pick all the rose berries before time ran out. Yeah. I get it. Game designers really have to cater to people that need tons of variety to get their fucking dopamine meter to register. Because gamers complain. Like, I had gamers yelling at me like, I want there to be jump races in Ghost Recon. Gives me something else to do. Are you that bored? When was the last time you got laid? Or had ice cream if you're younger. Like, when was the last time you had ice cream or hung out with somebody you liked? Turn the fucking video games off if you need bad shit in your games to be happy. Go read a book. You don't need race jumps in a war sim. What are we talking about? But it's like designers, like, they don't constantly put, like, Crackdown, the damn roof races, the car races, leave all that shit out of the game. It doesn't need it. And then they tie achievements to it, which is a pain in the ass because the roof jumps and the races always suck. They're always a pain in the ass to try to win. It's like, who were these two achievements for? The one dude in class that always reminds the teacher that she forgot to give the homework? Gaggle of whores. Damn, that dude got magic too, ho. All right, we're running on the river. We about to bite it if we don't get the hell out of here. These cats are playing for keeps, ho. Run, bitches. Get thy ass whooped. Watch your flanks, bruh. Watch your flanks. All right, showtime, ho. You want some? Let me get this loving that you need. I'm here. I'm here all night, too, ho. All damn night. All in your ass. Level up. Give me that marksman achievement, bitch. Who else want to get a little bit of this marksman in their ass? You? Somebody gotta want this marksman to kick ass. Look at me. Alright, save it up. I can't believe I survived that fight. That should have been an L. I'm not even gonna be mad about that because the game gave me a mulligan. I was like, oh, I know. As soon as I started running away, I was like, that's a wrap. There's going to be a blow dart or a lightning bolt that hits this fool in the back, and that's the end of the game. And no, it never came. I just knew that was it. Somehow we survived it. What's up, hoes? I see you, ho. I see you flanking. I see you flanking, ho. Come on. Come on now. Let's get right with Jesus. I need you to repent. Pray with me. Lord Jesus, I repent for trying to kill this motherfucker in the woods who's gonna naturally whoop my ass as he should. Oh, a wolf came to the party too, ho. Let's do it, wolves. I love a good wolf. Kick your ass, ho. Get your wolf ass up out of here. Here I go. Here I go with the killing. Look at all this killing I'm doing. You missed. You missed, ho asshole. Look at you missing. Everybody missing. I'm too damn real for your ass. And then I put an arrow cold in your ass right there. Right in your ass. That's where it go. Right in there. That's where they go. Ho, you did. I got you, ho. I got your number. I got your cell phone number. And here come your final ass whipping, ho. All in your ass. Hey, I killed somebody over here too. Where's their dead ass body at? I want to pick up everything they drop. I want everything you own, ho. Belongs to me now. Your possessions, shit, your family. Where your wife and kids at? I'm taking them home to a better life. They're gonna be so happy. Oh man, you killed that motherfucker? I'm so glad. Did we get to live with you forever now? Yeah, you do. Come on in. It's hot chocolate in the back. Terry says, anyway, gotta go, man. See ya. Hey, Terry, always appreciate you, man. Nothing but love for you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be back at it again tomorrow with ease. Now that I know my finger works, I can use my middle finger for video games and not be completely terrible. I was afraid this whole week was going to have to be dedicated to Madden, which for me wouldn't be horrible. I like Madden. But we'll be back with ease tomorrow now that I know my middle finger works. If I could play God of War, I could play pretty much any of these games with a busted finger. And tomorrow, actually, I think I get this bandage off, so I might get some of the use of my finger back, but it's still cut up pretty bad, so I'm going to have to be careful. But yeah, and then my wife just admitted to me tonight that she's like, babe, I played NBA 2K with the kids. And it wasn't that bad. Like, I was actually okay at it. I said, well, you know what I'm going to have you play? And I will hope to have her on the stream with me when I do it. Is I hope to have her come play NHL hockey with me because she's one of the characters on my team. She's one of my goalies. I think she's one of my goalies. She's either a goalie or I might have made her a wingman. Can't remember. Wing woman? Is that how you say it? Wing person? There you go. So expect a mixed bag. There's a lot of good. Okay, cool. Thank you, Terry. Tag says, that sounds like an annoying toss of Dynasty Wars Throne. Just because. Corey says, the NPCs are hoes. Well, everybody's a hoe, Corey. You weren't on the show where I explained my use of the word hoe, were you? Were you here for that? When I explained how I use the word hoe? Because I went in detail. It was like, everybody needs to understand how I use language. Before everybody's going to be offended, understand I might not mean what you mean by the words I'm saying. It's like, before we get offended, let's understand his intent behind what he's doing. Which is, if you knew his intent, you'd be laughing right now, not angry. Hold up. Oh, yes. Another crossbow for Jesus. So am I killing these dudes, or are they alright? Are they going to be alright? I'm going to have to kill everybody here now, but I will. Doron. Is this Gromar?
What brings
yes!
you to the land of death and sorrow, stranger?
Death
Cromar.
and sorrow are my true companions. And you?
I'm Craglan, Grand Master of the Rangers Guild. I'm searching for survivors.
It doesn't look too good.
My people set a handsome award for their cause. If only I could find my nephew.
Your nephew?
His name is Killian. He's been missing since the battle.
Oops, sorry. I was
Your
reading
nephew,
text
eh?
messages.
I could help search for him. I came across Killian in a cave near the woodcutter's camp. He'd taken refuge there from the wolves, which he held for demons.
Wolves? Demons? Is he okay?
Don't worry, they were just wolves. They're dead now anyway, and your nephew should have arrived at the castle by now.
Oh, thank you, stranger. Thank you. My sister Semily's already started to worry about him. Here, take this. It isn't much, but it'll serve you well.
Here we go. It isn't much, but it will serve you well. Tonight's show is brought to you by the BCM swag store, swag.brianchambers.com. Slide on by, grab your shirt. If you can see on screen right there, we have our new shirts up. If you weren't here for the last couple of nights Madden streams, you're not going to be familiar with what hashtag Believe in Steve means. But rest assured, clips are coming. Believe in Steve. That's my favorite shirt that I made. Corey said we need to make another shirt. The NPCs are hoes. I got to figure out how to word that in a way that would actually pop on the shirt. The NPCs are hoes. All NPCs are hoes. Or the NPCs, maybe just the NPCs are hoes. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do it. I'll figure it out. We'll get there. Did you guys catch this one? Oh, nope, that's not gonna work. Back up, ho. Everyone praises the part where you think the game is over, and then it's like, oh, the game's not over, you're only halfway through it. I cussed at the screen. I was like, fuck, there's more of this bullshit? Like, Final Fantasy 3 was actually the game, or /6, depending on how you want to look at it, was the game that let me know video games are now going in a direction that I don't want to follow. Thanks. And of course, Final Fantasy 3 is all the underground Final Fantasy fans' favorite. It has like 47 characters, and then you remember the opera scene? Yeah, the really tedious shit where you had to hit the right buttons. Clearly, the people that call themselves video game fans are not from the planet that I came from playing video games, because that shit made me want to club baby seals in the face in front of their parents. Just, oh no, not the babies! Yes, the babies. All of them. Gone. Clubbed them. Just clubbing them. And I know a place in San Diego where the baby seals are. I could take a speedboat out there. Just,
All true.
Fuck Final Fantasy 7. All of them. Anyway, or it's 3. Which one am I cussing about now? I forgot. Everyone praises the part where you think the game is over, and then it's like, oh, the game's not over. You're only halfway through it. I cussed at the screen. I was like, fuck this.
I did not mean to play it twice. There you go. Okay, you were there. Very well. Yes, well, actually, I knew you were there for that one. But were you there for believing? Are you saying you were there for believing Steve, or you were there for that last thing that I just played? It's a lot of gear if you just run up on these guys. It's crazy. You just find all kind of stuff. Whoa, whoa, get that rusty paladin sword. Now, what I wish this game had was the, like the crafting customization system of 2 worlds. Because then all this stuff I'm picking up, I could just stack it on top of itself to make it a stronger version of itself. And then I automatically have a stronger, like crossbow or sword or whatever. I really love that part of that game. The Fist of Adanos. And I got some more rune shards, baby. What you got for me, home? That's Doron. He ain't ready. Alright, is Lothar of the Hill People good? He's alright. Heavy bolt. Yes, sir. I'm saving up every heavy bolt I got for, like, the final boss. I'm gonna be shooting like 1,000 heavy bolts at their ass. Uh-oh. I see red on the map. Oh, hey, hoes. What's happening? Long time no see. Hey, you fellas from the village want to come help a brother out? Come on, get some of this loving, man. We can all do it together. And when you get the money, we can spend it together. It doesn't even really work, man. What's your name? What's your name, man? You called us. I just want to tell the consul who's responsible for his daughter's death because he talked too much. Y'all see me getting into these fisticuffs, right? Y'all just gonna chill hard, right? Y'all just gonna chill hard like Jake Gyllenhaal, right? That's us in here chilling. Just gonna let these dudes come at me and not even get involved. Just, you're acting like they ain't even here, right? You don't see all these goblins trying to kill a brother. You just gonna skate on by, huh? You like most people. You like most people in the world. Yeah, I'm not gonna get involved. Not my fight. You know, minding my own business. Doing me. Yeah, do you. And pick up a sword and help a brother at some point, ho. Oh, I'm out of arrows, ho. That's okay. I don't need them arrows. Fuck them arrows. I kick ass with blades, ho. All in this ass of yours. Oh, shit. Easy on that ass. Let's not die while we're kicking ass, shan't we? Alright, give me something. Give me something. Give me something. Ow! Let my health regen a little bit. Come on, come on. Shit! I didn't know he was gonna put it through a tree. Hadouken! Did I please not let this dude shank me? Can we handle that? Por favor. Alright, then we're back to where they hide at. That's good. I can heal up and then finish kicking ass. And I gotta replenish my bow and arrows situation. Damn, them dudes are fast as hell if they got back that quick. Okay, you were there for both, my man. It's Corey Towns, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Corey Towns. Oh, I see you flanking, ho. You ain't slick. Get your flanking ass out of here. Shoot your own people, huh? Alright, now I got 2 projectile fighters. That's your ass, ho. That's it. Come on, keep shooting. Keep on shooting. Oh, you want to get in on this, ho? I got all you need, too. Come on around that corner. It's going to be ass whipping 30. For you and your ass. Peace. Now your boy is tied up, and I can kick ass all night without being interrupted. I might even pick up your gear while I'm killing. Let me get one more spell before I get to him. Don't need it, but I still got it. Hose and ice. Can a brother get a table dance up in here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's no sex in the champagne room. I caught all of y'all in the champagne room. That's why you dead. Okay, where's the next guy with the blow dart? I hear him but don't see him. Alright, map markers help. Is he up the hill? He sure is. Look at his little sexy self up there. What's up, little homie? You good? Hell no, you ain't good, because I'm coming to whoop your monkey goblin ass. That's what I'm doing. All night, like them baby seals in San Diego, ho. Coming for your ass, ho. Ready? Look at you. Hoeing too much. Oh, you lucky I can't kill on these rocks, ho. You lucky. You lucked out, ho. I am not allowed to kill you, but I'm allowed to kill your friends. And I'm definitely killing his ass. Right? Ah. Gotta get him off of this ledge, man. Come and fight, ho. Good lord. Cannot fight you on that ledge. It won't let me. Ass whooping. Had to hate you, player. Tag says shit, he's out of tea. That's a party foul. Very well said. I actually have a question I'd like to run by the audience. Something I'm thinking about. And I don't really know how to form it all yet. It's still something that's totally in the experimental idea phase. But I thought about it after last night went down. And I'm trying to... So last night was kind of the first warning of, hey, you've built something that people are going to kind of like. And my history with building things that people kind of like, it's great until it's not. So, one of the things I've talked about actually at length before even deciding to come back and do any streams on any platform was I eventually, if this were to blow up and start to grow, and I'm starting to see the trend of growth as it's happening, like last night we set records for how many people were here live. At least records for this channel. I've had a lot more people on lives in other places, but this channel, at least what we're doing on this channel, is still relatively new. So I'm looking for ways to create an exclusive private hangout so that we can still keep this nucleus of people together. The challenge becomes, okay, how do I separate the people who are allowed to come to the private stream from
the people who would come to the public streams, right? And one of the ways I thought to do it was kind of like a subscription fee, but something that's so ridiculously cheap that it's just like, oh yeah, that's like that's the tax we pay to have clean water show up at the house type. Like, where it's not money, right? It's not like, oh man, I got to pay this bill. It's just like, here's the thing I throw a little bit of spare change at that gets me access to this thing that's really awesome. And I don't want it to be about money, which is why I'm even reluctant to bring it up. But I want to throw it at y'all, get ideas from you. And because I do at some point, because I'll be straight up and honest with you, I see this kind of heading down the road. Even my wife's like, I kind of like what you're up to out of all the things that I've seen you do. And I'm like, all right, I've been down the road of millions of people showing up before. And that's usually when I want to escape. So I want to be able to keep some level of intimacy with the crowd we have now, the nucleus of people that have fun hanging out. Because I'm telling you, once I start doing streams where there's 1,000 people here, this intimate kind of hangout is done. And I do not want to lose that. So I'm thinking about like having exclusive, more private streams that, like I said, if I don't know how you would make people pay for it, but you would just use paying as a way to just separate the people who wanted to be here from the people who don't. Meaning, like, it's not so much about the money, it's about, do you get enough value out of coming here that you would throw $5 at something a month to have access to hanging out with us? What you're paying for is not the show, because the show is going to exist, but it's more paying for that opportunity for just us to hang out if this thing starts to go where I think it's going. Which inevitably, if it does, my ability to interact with all of you will be limited, because I'll be interacting with a monster. Like, when I used to have anywhere from 2,000 to 18,000 people on a live stream, it is impossible to have a legitimate conversation with people in the comment section. I'm also looking at those people who have potentially paid for the private show would also get access to other features if we could build it into this show. Like, me and the team are talking about, how do we have people call into the show versus just, like, if somebody has a question they want to ask and they actually want to have a conversation with me, or anybody on the show, not just me, then we would have them call in versus having to text it to us in the chat system, which makes it kind of disjointed and asynchronous. Because what you guys are hearing is usually always 30 seconds to, in some cases, 10 to 20 to 30 minutes to an hour behind where I'm at in the show, depending on when people get here and where they are. Regionally. So anyway, it's just brainstorm. It's just something that came into my mind. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on it. I'll bring it up maybe one more time on the show just in case some of our other regulars aren't here and they can chime in on it. But talk about it amongst yourselves. Tell me, like, would you care? Like I'll be on a stream that has 6,000 people. I don't care. Or no, I kind of appreciate being able to talk with the people who are on the show, Bryant, but also the other people who are in the comments, without having to sift through 49 comments. Hey, you know you look like Will Smith? Hey, you know you look like The Rock? Hey, yeah, bitches. Pretty white people have been telling me that since I was 16. I got it. But, you know, I don't take it as an insult. It's always a compliment when people do it. It's just silly that, you know, when you've been told it no less than 1,000 times that the person who comes on your show, has anyone ever told you? No. No one's ever told me this highly original thing that only you came up. Like, they've only been saying it since I was 16 years old, bro. Yes, I hear it all the time. But I also understand that what they're really trying to say is, hey, you remind me of The Rock. And I love The Rock. And I always take it as a compliment. I just always am taken aback by the person who thinks they're surprising me. Like, have you ever heard? No. Really? The Rock? Never would have guessed. A guy I'm almost exactly the same size as. Except, well, not now. When I was bodybuilding, I was his size. Not anymore. And Morpheus, yep. I didn't start getting the Lawrence Fishburne shit until I got older, though. And my hair was a lot shorter, and the Matrix existed. Because nobody was talking about, you know you look like Sam from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Nobody ever said that shit. I got the Morpheus label when I started kicking philosophy. Like, nobody's like, you look like Sam from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Nobody remembers Sam, but they remember the shit out of Morpheus. Well, see, no, not just Discord only streams, because inevitably the Discord will get bigger too. Right? Like, think about it. Our intimate crowd on this show is about, if I had to number it, it's probably about 30 of you out of the hundreds that come. And then not to mention the people who may or may not watch it after the fact. So it's just for that new, like, the Discord's already bigger than the intimate crowd on this show. Right? So, I don't know. But not a bad idea. No bad ideas in brainstorming. Keep kicking them. Keep kicking them. But just to say, like, no, what I'm talking about would be smaller even than what's on Discord. Like, it's just us. The us that started with this show. And everyone who pitched in and said, hey, I think this is a good idea, B, I hope you keep doing it. Like, y'all, the people who get it. I've always wanted to have just that, man. I've never wanted to be like Billy Graham level of like talking to people in arenas. Do you know the type of people that go to shows at arenas? That's not who I'm talking to. And of course, there's great, because well, I was at an arena and I'm great. I know, Mary, I got it. You're the exception of the other 80,000 people suck. You're the great one. I got it. Tag is laughing at Sam from Nightmare on Elm Street. It's the truth. Like, that's the first thing I saw Lawrence Fishburne in was Nightmare on Elm Street. It wasn't this Matrix shit. Or, you know, you look like that kid from Apocalypse Now. Nobody says that shit. It's always Morpheus. Let's see. Lisa says, I like the smaller group idea the most. Got it. Now, one of the things we could do, though, is use Discord to facilitate the discussions. That's something we could do, but it would have to be like a private chat that only the people we've put in the group have access to. Right? And that's why I'm saying having like here's just what I've learned on the business side of things. When you create a paywall for something, like there are platforms that I am glad have paywalls, right? Like Jordan Peterson's social media platform. I was elated to give him my money because thank God, because I know a minimum of 70% of the people who would use this platform will never pay a dime to be on it. Which means the people who are going to be the power users are people who are paying to be here, like me. I'm paying to be there, which means it just like people who are willing to invest their money in something are saying they trust it to the point where they're invested, right? Which means they're going to be the kind of people you want around. Like when he started charging people, I'm like, oh, that's what social media is needed. I wish, like I use paid YouTube. I'll never go back to free YouTube, ever in my life. I will throw money at Google for the rest of eternity as long as YouTube is a viable thing where I get information from. Because it's just, I'm invested in the experience being dope. And I'm glad they gave me that option to get rid of all the shit I hate. Like, yeah, I'll throw a couple bucks. I know you got engineers and shit you got to pay. I'll pay whatever it is I pay every year, which is nothing. I might pay $200 a year for no commercials ever. That's worth, like, no commercials ever is worth thousands of dollars a month to me, because commercials make me PTSD rage because they're all fucking lying. None of them are true, and I hate marketers because they all lie, and I have been one, so I hate me too. But you know, that the money thing is more about like not trying to get money, because it would be $5. You're not going to build 12 people paying $5. I mean, that's gas money. But it's more just having something that is a pain point that would keep people we don't want here from showing up ever. Right? It's like, oh, I'd love to be there, but I'm not paying for it. It's like, good, stay. Like, I want the people here like, yo, I would pay for, and again, it's not about the money, it's about the investment. It's hard to explain because we're talking about money. But it's a thing I've seen in the real world where it's like, I've given courses away for free to people, and I've charged them money. Which one do you think the people do better with that are in the courses? The answer is kids, the ones who paid the money, because they're invested. Like the person who got it for free doesn't value it. They were looking for something for free because they probably don't have a lot of access to resource. So they're at the bottom trying to scrape their way up You know what I mean? Which is fine. That's why I made it free, because I know there's people out there that are struggling. I used to be that struggling guy. But at some point, you got to pick them shoestrings up and start kicking and start making shit that's valuable to other people so that you don't stay in that place. Right? But the person who paid money to be here is more likely to say, I got to show up and do this work because I paid to fucking be here. I paid for this shit. I want to do the work because I don't want to lose money. And the person who pays is usually more inclined to be invested in like, so in a weird way, me charging money for some of my programs, because I considered giving all of it away for free. And so I gave parts of it away for free and saw how people treated it. Like some of the numbers I've got with my free programs versus stuff that people have had to pay to get in, it's disgusting. Like people had to pay to get to this one, and almost as many people went through it. Like, what? But it's one of those things where when someone has that pain point and they're willing to get over that pain point, it means they really value the thing they're trying to be a part of. And that's what I want, is the people who seriously value being here. And I want to keep it small. So anyway, throw ideas at me. If charging is not the right answer, we'll figure out what the right answer is. I like charging because it's just easy for it's an easy thing to implement for all of us, y'all included. But we'll see. I also want to be respectful to that may rub some people the wrong way. And that's why I'm bringing it to you guys publicly, so you know what I'm up to, and I want to be transparent about it. Like, hey, this is something I'm thinking about, so it doesn't just launch. Like, why did he do that? Well, we had the public discussion, and we all agreed this was the best idea, you know, or this is what everybody submitted, and here's the decision I made is a better way to say that, because we're not really going to do this by committee, but I do want to get ideas from you guys. So Rion says a couple of bucks a month to cut the clutter, says yes. Okay, so he's kind of in my camp. Like the fact that Jordan Peterson's social media app charges me money, I love that. Because it means the type of people who I'm going to interact with are going to also be people who paid to be there. And they're not going to be the shit-tards who have to say whatever dumb thing they need to say that has nothing to do with what we're actually trying to build. And we don't have to have, like, for me, it's just about minimizing the distractions. And you guys have been on some of the live shows where we've had members or had attendees show up and they become a complete distraction where we end up having to kick them. It's like, man, we're trying to love you and you're making it hard to love you. Like, help us love you.
Morals, mushrooms, have you got them?
Here are the damn fungi.
Yes! Oh, splendid. All I need now is a fresh skull. Take a good look at yourself. Yes. Yes, your head would make a perfect skull.
How about a skull that isn't attached to my neck?
Sure. Bring me one from the battlefield, will you? Nice and fresh. Fresh.
A skull? Like this one?
Oh, yes. Yes, good boy. Nice skull. Nice, very nice. If I take a closer look.
What then?
Your skull is fresher, nicer. I'll need it.
That again? I'll have your hide instead, you loon.
I was going to say, I don't think he's one of the guys that lets me kill him. I think he's just one of those dudes. Does he die? I'm going to kill somebody and have a seat. Let's get a sandwich after killing. Kill somebody, sit down, have a sandwich right next to their dead body. That's the way I do it, man. That's gangster shit. That's zombie apocalypse shit right there. If y'all see me in the zombie apocalypse, you're going to see this scene. Me on a bench next to a dude I just stabbed in the eyeball, eating a sandwich. And probably talking to him because he's not dead yet. Hey, man, how's that eyeball doing? You dead yet? All right. It's break time, y'all. I kept you longer than I was supposed to before the break, so let me give you guys a quick break, and then we'll kick it back up here. Let me just take these comments. Let's see. Rion says, Bryant, yeah, you can do a members-only chat for the streams. Okay. And so we'll just need a way to figure out who gets access to that, but that's an easy fix. Cool. So Rion would say a couple bucks a month to cut clutter. He's down. Sweet. And automatically no more bots. Yeah, it'd be interesting because the show would be private. I don't think the bots would be able to get here. And that's the intent. Like, the show will not be discoverable to any people unless you're a part of our private group. And that's kind of the thing, is it's like a private, intimate hangout. I'd probably do them. The private ones I would do anywhere from once a week to once a month, because I still want to have the show to be available to as many people as possible. But I'd have that one, like maybe that one hangout a week where it's just us and we kick it and we figure it out. And I'm sure I could probably pepper in like time slots for those shows too, where I could do more like business mentory type shit that because you guys always have really good questions about like how to do marketing and sales for different things and things that I've either marketed or sold or operational things that I've used to, things that I've done to build companies to make them successful, etc. You guys seem to like learning that stuff. So I'm more than happy to pass it on. I love sharing that stuff with you guys. And I love having a place where I can share that stuff mostly for free. So I don't have to, bundle it up into a $5,000 course and then spend the rest of my life marketing it to people who are never going to use the information appropriately. It's just not the world I want to live in. It's kind of like the reason why I never became a public speaker. Once I went to get trained by very wealthy public speakers, figure out, okay, how does this game work? And I sat in one of their seminars. I said, oh, this is how the game works. I don't want any fucking part of this shit. This goddamn high pressure manipulative horse shit. Like, you got to have stupid people here to make this work. It's like basically a business of filling a room with enough stupid people who will give you money, and then a couple of smart people with more money who will give you more of it for better shit. It's just like, I don't want to do any of that. Can I just show up and help people? No, because people don't value education. Okay, well then I'll just make people laugh until they die. Great. Let's see, Tag says, I don't use my Hulu since I downgraded to commercials. It was free to downgrade, and I wasn't using it as much anyway. Okay. Well, I guess that makes the point I was trying to make. Yeah, I just dropped Apple TV Plus and picked up 500 internet. Okay. Tag says, I pay $35 a year. Okay, so $35 a year is about $3 a month. Okay. To a media company. I'd have no problem throwing the same, and I would need to make it cheap enough that, because it's going to start off as an experiment. Everything I do is a science project, right? So we'll do it for a while to see if, one, do I even like doing it enough to want to do it that often? And then two, do you all, more importantly, like it enough to keep coming around? And then three, can we sustain it? And then the other thing is looking at, you guys don't really care about this, but I'm looking at ways to potentially finance the show too, if that becomes a thing where I can start to actually throw money at some of the issues that we have with our production. Right now we're just doing it with duct tape and grit or whatever. But like being able to show folks like, hey, we already have people paying to be on the private show. Like selling this public show is easy. Get your sponsorships in or whatever the thing is we would work out. Michael Bumpus says, couple of bucks or donate an inspirational quote. Word up. I appreciate it, Michael. Thanks for chiming in. And welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of speaking with you before, Michael. Hello. Nice to meet you, man. Or if we've met before, good to see you again. Tristan says, I wouldn't have an issue with paying. It works for me. Okay. What about donating dad jokes? So I won't be any part of that because I love comedy enough not to let people who suck at it fucking destroy it with shitty jokes. Knowing he makes a show full of shitty jokes. Oh, man. Let's see. Typical Iowa says, I joined mid-conversation, but yes, I would pay for a thing. Okay, cool. Oh my God, had the service tech cracking up. Cox service tech said I should do stand-up. I've told you should do stand-up. Why is the Cox person more important in your life than me? Was that enough narcissism in that? Was that enough of my internal insecure asshole for you? But no, that's cool. You should do stand-up. Or at least write comedy. Tag says, heck, you could host someone else playing the game. Well, don't think I haven't thought through. At some point, this show may become somebody else playing the games while I just say ridiculous shit to them while they play it. I've done that type of show before, except on that show, I was the player and the other guy, Patrick. You guys have seen Patrick on the show before. He's fucking hilarious. He's an actor too. He's a thespian and a comedian, and he does improv. Though he doesn't do stand-up, he does improv. which is different, but still, it takes a very, very specific skill set to get good at that. And he's got a super fast brain that can just, some of the shit I've seen him do in his sets, I'm just like, because as a matter of fact, he did a set where he had to pretend to be me, and the whole audience didn't know who I was, but he was like, and he was like overdoing it, but in such a perfect, like, this motherfucker, all these people, if they knew he was making fun of me, probably think I'm insane, but in a way that made the whole crowd just lose it. And he got all the material just from watching me with my kids. And, you know, he brought his own personality to it and killed it. Like, I was in tears, and he was basically pretending to be a worse version of me. And just the timing and the things he was saying that are phrases I actually use just completely out of context. It was great. But yeah, anyway. I'm in rabbit holes at this point. But I have thought through, he and I did a show playing Uncharted 2, where I was the player and the straight man, and he was the comedy guy. And so I was doing the straight man shit and playing the kind of dumb person who doesn't know how to play the game, which wasn't acting. I suck at freaking dumb puzzle dungeon games. And I hate them. And so it was just him shitting on me the entire time and making fun of the game for its idiosyncrasies. And it was like, we won an award on Reddit for, I think it was the Let's Play of the Week. They had this, like, there's a Let's Play Reddit back in the day when Let's Plays were real popular. And somebody submitted our video. In fact, it might have been me. I don't think it was me, though. But somehow it got submitted. Maybe it was me. And we won the award for that week or that month. It was like, because the people were like, these two dudes are fucking hilarious. It's like, it's not, it's him. Like, all I'm doing is just throwing alley-oops, and he's dunking from the three-point line. Because he's that guy. He can do that. He's hilarious. You know? Which is why I was super excited Friday when I thought we were going to get to play Halo Infinite, because he was going to be a part of that, and then Halo Infinite sucks or whatever, and we didn't get to do it. But anyway, there you go. But so yeah, somebody else playing the games eventually is something that'll probably happen, and I'll just be shitting all over them and doing the making fun. Like, I would love to get somebody in here playing things that I hate. Like, if I could get one of my kids to play a Zelda game, it would be non-stop comedy for however many hours that show was of me just shitting on, because I don't have to focus on playing the game, so I can just observe and just do observational shit and not have to think of it while I'm running from a wolf that's trying to kill me and tell y'all a joke and read a comment. It's a ballet up here, man. It's juggling fucking chainsaws is what it is. Highlight one of the inside streamers gain tips from the Inner Circle community. Okay, yeah, we could do that too. Don't ever let me run that stream playing Minecraft. Oh, did you guys watch the Minecraft I did with my son? This shit was glorious. He was throwing alley-oops. That's where Easy Jesus came from. All that stuff, man. He basically made hell. He made hell in a video game, and I was like, dude, this is actually worse than... I've read books about hell. Like scary ones. This is scarier than the shit I read in the book. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, dude, you need to see my therapist, bro. And he giggled, and I was like, that's the exact appropriate response. You probably do, and one day I'll introduce you. Oh, man. Let's see, Corey says, I'm down to support financially. Okay, cool. And that's the other thing I'm thinking is having a way to raise funds also makes the show better. So maybe there's cross purposes there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, Corey does look a bit like Jesus. Or how Jesus would have actually worked, not the Ashton Kutcher Jesus that the fucking TV networks put on the churches. He looks like actual Jesus. Or what I'm told Jesus looked like. Nobody knows. Nobody has the actual pictures. Michael says, thank you for the welcome. Found you through TikTok and podcast. Love the idea, conversation, and motivational. Man, Michael, you are in the right place, man. Thank you. Bless you. And thanks for coming from TikTok. That means a lot to me. That means a very lot to me that you would come hang out with me here too. So bless you. We'll keep bringing the hits as best we can, man, and try to make your night a little bit better. Let's go ahead and take a quick break from the game. I know I've been on break talking to you guys, but we're going to take a quick break from the game. I'm going to refill my tea, and then we'll get back at it and let you guys go for the night. Back at it in a minute. Oh, and then as I showed you guys, bottom left-hand corner, speaking of money, give me some. The bottom left-hand corner, We Believe in Steve. Hashtag Believe in Steve is the new shirt that we have in the swag store. I'm working on some other ones too. Corey just gave me an idea for one. So you can get there by going to... Oh, I keep cutting me off. You can get there by going to swag.brianchambers.com. And with that, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Peace. What up, yo? My profile pic is Reggie Watts. You damn right it is, bruh. Corey, do you watch and listen to a lot of Reggie Watts stuff, man? Is that your guy? Is that your dude? Reggie Watts, man. He's one of them dudes that reminds me of Prince, but just, less publicly prolific. But he's involved. That dude is in everything. Like, he popped up on a show once where he was, I was like, what the hell? All right, he said Hip Jesus and Reggie Watts. Man, Reggie Watts is one of them dudes. Like, he reminds me of Prince, just not as publicly popular and prolific, man. Where this dude, like, he popped up on a show. What was I watching? Whose show was I watching? And then Reggie Watts just came out of the back like, what the hell? Does he produce everything musically? Is everything in show business go through that guy? Because he's in, like, he works with Jim Gaffigan stuff. He was on Pete Holmes stuff. Like, that dude is all over the place. And I mean that as a compliment. Dude is crazy talented. Huge inspiration to me. I love Reggie and everything he does. Well, you love a lot of things because that dude is freaking driven. He is a driven-ass dude, man. I really thought there was a way we can get out of killing that guy, but I guess not. Alright, what's next in terms of our quest line? And in fact, let us save the game. So, Corey, talk me through your, what are you up to, man? If Reggie Watts is your inspiration, is doing that type of art what you're pushing to do in your life? I'd love to hear more. Alright, where are we heading? Alright. We're heading to the upper room where Jesus did his thing in the dew. I don't think that's the lyrics to the upper room. I think I might be a couple words off on that one. The lyrics to the upper room. Oh my gosh. Is this more killing or are these cats gonna let me do the do? I don't know. Let's save up though. Because cats that don't like letting you do the do also seem to like to kill you a lot. See, Corey says, I want to get involved in entertainment. Me and my brother actually have movies written that we've been working on since we were teenagers. Hey, word up. So, you're still writing them, or they're written and you're just trying to find ways to film them? Because if you're looking for ways to film them, I have an idea to throw at you. In fact, one of the talks I do, I'm going to break down the psychology of why the angry video game nerd works so well. like one of the specific psychological situations that he creates on his show. And I imagine, from what little I know of the guy from listening to him talk about himself, the psychological benefit his show gives, I don't think was probably intentional, the way it works. Like, I don't think he set out, I'm going to do a show that does this to people psychologically. I think it was just kind of a happy benefit of something he wanted to make a lot of people were going to be into. But There's some really cool stuff you can pull away from what he's done to make things work on your own. In fact, I took notes from his playbook for one of the reasons why Game Therapy has done better than a lot of other things I've produced that have anything to do with gaming is because I took some notes out of the James or the Jim Rolfe playbook. It was like, oh, because I actually noticed the psychological phenomenon working on myself. So I have personal experience like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Got it. So, that'll be on another show that we'll talk about. And if you want to make social media stuff that sings, you might want to be there for that. Hey, another Stuart militia. I got a lot of sexy crossbows right now. Let's see. Ooh, I got some more arrows. Oh, wait a minute. I have arrows. I didn't need to refill. I bet you already had some that were in my bag. Hey, I activated the teleport that I didn't even see. Thank God for that. Hey, mana potions. Speaking of mana potions, let's get into our inventory. Let's do some loving here. McLovin! Those fire arrows will become very, very useful and valuable at a later date. Dang, I only have 35 bolts. I thought I had way more than that at this point in the game. But alas, I do not. Ah, damn. Is that easy? Okay. Shit. I didn't know that. Hell yeah. Grilled meats. So this is something I have not done much in this playthrough, but it's going through. Okay, what do I have in my arsenal? No. Dang it, I hit the wrong button. That's alright, we'll fix that. Woo! And if I remember correctly, saving a lot of mana potions for the final boss fight is a good idea. If I remember correctly. No, I can't do that. What are you doing, bruh? That's your muscle memory is going to be all jacked up. It has to be that. And then the other one can be this. Got him. Alright. See, Corey goes on to say, we have one written and done. It just needs to be edited and tweaked. Okay, cool. I thought I was destined to be a stand-up comic, but I like the comfort of the camera more than working the crowd. Jesus, you are the exact opposite of me. I am awkward as shit on camera, but love speaking in front of crowds. That is too cool. To meet somebody that's the opposite end of that spectrum, that is cool as hell. Oh, you said it and just, yeah, I am the exact, I hate it. Now, the exception of the rule is doing live shows. This is like talking in front of a crowd. You guys are just virtual. But talking into a camera where there is nobody there, it's the most awkward shit in the world because it's like, who am I talking to? Nobody. And so how am I supposed to make this feel like a conversation if I'm not actually talking to a person? And you introverts are so used to talking to yourselves in your own head, and us extroverts need to talk it out. Y'all can just be up here all day and think and shit. I was like, I can't do that. My brain don't work that way. You know. Anyway. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. I am the exact opposite. I would much rather speak in front of 1,000 people than ever film another freaking pre-recorded TikTok video. Like, I can rarely even watch stuff that I've made. Like, this is terrible. Unless it's a live show where I'm talking to actual people. Then I'm alright. What's up, lady? Gunda.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
No.
How can I be of help?
I come from the castle. Actually, I'm a trader, but I also help treat the wounded and ill. I wanted to ask the Rangers a favor, but where are they?
Indeed. Not many around here. What were you going to ask them?
We need healing nuts for the wounded. I need someone to hunt the boars in the southeast of the valley and cut the nuts out of their stomachs.
What?
The boars love these nuts, and the nuts have strong healing powers, but are poisonous to humans. The poison is neutralized in their stomachs, though, so we cut them out of the boars.
I see.
Look, help me out and I'll reward you. Half a dozen nuts will be fine.
I love a
I'm going
half
back
a
to the
dozen
castle
nuts.
now.
That's
See
3
me there
dudes.
once you've got the nuts.
Man, let's go get some nuts. That's what I'm talking about. Where them dudes at with the nuts? Love a good set of nuts. It's 2 dudes dressed as nuns. God, can somebody please find me that Richard Pryor stand-up where he tells the joke about friends that can't tell jokes? Can somebody please find me that joke? I cannot. I have all his albums and I can't remember which one it's on. And I've been, like, I don't want to listen to all of them tonight to get to that joke. Can somebody just please know that and tell me which damn album that's on? Because I can't remember. And I don't want to go looking for it. I just want to hear that joke. It's 2 dudes dressed as nuns. And if I say the rest of it, it's going to be like, what did he say? Out of context, I don't want to say the rest of the joke. It's making me laugh even thinking about it. Oh, Rich! He is the king, man. Richard Pryor, boy. It's 2 dudes dressed as nuns. So the premise of the joke is, does anybody have that friend that's terrible at telling jokes and then gets mad at you after he fucks the joke up that you're not laughing? Oh, God, I love that joke. Hello there. This is Gilthor the Castellan.
Who are you? Are you coming from the battle?
No, from Stuart. I'm looking for Gilthor, the Castellan of the Silver Lake Castle.
You found him. I am Gilthor.
The Baron of Stuart gave me a letter for you.
Some news from Stuart. Finally.
Here, now that I've delivered the letter to you, I'd like to ask you something.
Sorry, stranger. Whatever it may be, it'll have to wait.
Wait? But my issue is urgent.
I believe you, but since the end of the battle, my hands have been full. We need to bury the dead and take care of the wounded.
Maybe I could be of some help.
We welcome any helping hand. I need to return to the castle, and Duran's still wandering over the battlefield.
Duran?
My lord's standard-bearer. He refuses to take refuge in the castle. Bring him home, and then I might hear out your request.
Oh, I was just talking to Doran.
I'll see about Doran. Then, we will speak further. Where's the battlefield?
We were
Northeast
just
from
on
here,
it.
near the entrance of the Gorge of Thorniara.
Like,
Simply
y'all didn't
follow
write
the
that
trail route.
robustly?
And
Like,
your
if
castle?
character
Where can
has
I
been
find
at
it?
these coordinates,
South from
don't
here.
play this dialogue.
Simply
That's the
follow the
easiest
road
line of
leading
code to write,
southeast.
isn't it? Like, play this other dialogue if character's position ever equaled latitude this, longitude that, or X, Y. Z wouldn't be latitude and longitude. It'd be the X and Y axis. Like, if he ever stepped foot here, he knows where the battlefield is. And then you just say, yeah, you were already there. Remember? All the dead people were? Got it. But, you know, this game is, I think, 12 years old. So we'll give it a pass. It'll get it right next time. Cutting out nuts. We got them nuts from the wild boars. About to cut them. Cutting nuts. Look at these nuts I'm cutting. Cutting all the nuts up out of you. Damn, dude, that dude beat the shit out of me right there. That dude sent me flying. We're definitely gonna have to get the don't get knocked down ability. I didn't even take that ability serious until that just happened. Did I miss? Come on, man. Coward. Rion says, oh, dude, I had a Marine combat veteran tell you that he'd rather find himself in Fallujah again than be stuck in front of a pissed-off door. I think that's probably a fair assessment of the situation. It's almost easier not to freaking lock on. Alright, screw it. To hate you, player. Player. Player, I had to hate you. Oh, sweet player. I had to hate you so that I could do the do. He was from Texas and hunted boar from a stand. The 450 SOCOM. Awesome. Yeah. Easy there, killer. Shit, there's 3 more. What up, homies? All in everybody's kick-ass 30. There he goes. Angry as hell. Woo! Missed, ho. You missed. Oh, he ain't gonna miss this time. Get in there. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. Killing. Done. Kick ass. For fun. That's what we do, son. That's what we do, son. That's what we do, son. That's...
The running in this game is like calling cadence. It's easy. Killing. On my left, keep killing. Ain't nobody tripping, no, we all straight chilling. Actually, it's a bit of a brisk pace for singing cadence, but it's doable. I guess you could airborne shuffle to that, probably. Maybe a little fast. Where's Pig Nuts, lady? Hey, I got your pig nuts. Come on. Let's get naked now. Yo, Pig Nuts, where you at, homie? Pig Nuts are gone? Where's Pig Nuts? Pig Nuts, where are you? Pig Nuts don't want to hang out, I guess.
Have you seen a standard, maybe? A silver crest of Satarif on a royal blue background.
Let me guess. You must be Doran. Gilthor is worried about you.
Gilthor? Does he want you to bring me back to the castle?
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm not going back without our Lord's standard. Never.
Come on. There are other things Gilthor has on his mind right now. He's not upset about the loss of the standard.
I'm not afraid of his wrath.
What's the problem then?
If I return without the standard, I'll be dishonored. Forever.
Ooh. Forgot to grab something on the break, guys. I'll be right back. Everybody's chilling hard. Yes, indeed, yeah. Pimping all the way to the river. Chilling. So the thing I wanted to show you all is the book I picked. Well, the book I started reading today. I've actually had this book for a while, and I'm just now getting around to reading it. But it's the Social Life of Money. And it was actually the impetus for one of the things we talked about earlier. About me sharing some of the things I've learned in my business and adventure travels that I want to, pass on to you all so you don't have to make the same mistakes I've made in business or life or whatever. But I'm basically going through this book right now to see if I'm going to want to add it to... Oh, you know what? Let me see if this works. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so if I do this... No, wrong one. Boom. Okay, there we go. So I'm going through this book myself now to see if it's a book that I want to add to my book club. And then if you guys and ladies and others haven't heard, starting after the new year, I'm going to launch... right now I'm kind of... The working name for it is called the Wisdom Challenge. And so each week I'm going to recommend a book through my book club that everybody reads that week and then provides just a simple summary in our... we have a section for it on our Discord server. And so once the challenge starts, everyone does their reading. You read your book. You got a week to read it. Get through it. Get your summaries turned in. And then at the end of the year, what I'm thinking about doing is evaluating all the summaries that I read. And then we'll immediately disqualify anybody that didn't complete the challenge. So if you don't get through 52 books in that year, you're disqualified. But for the person who gets through all the books and, you know, provides what I think is an insightful summary that's helpful to others, if your insights become helpful to others and, you know, we passed it on, I'm looking at doing some type of cash prize or giveaway, like an Xbox Series X or $300 or whatever the thing is. But the cool thing about it, where I think the greatest benefits to doing the challenge are going to come from, is when everybody's reading and then sharing, you're passing on knowledge that you're getting. And that's one of the best ways to solidify what you learn, is then to go and teach it to somebody else. Because it forces you to be detailed and think through, okay, what did I really experience and what were my takeaways? And so everybody collectively sharing their experiences with the book, what that's going to create is a groundswell of not just collective knowledge, but a collective experience where everybody's learning from each other's experiences and applying dope principles to our lives. Right? And then, you know, your businesses will get better just by going through the activity. The point is your life and your business, your career will get measurably better before the end of the year. Guaranteed. Right? So I'm reading through The Social Life of Money right now to see if it's one of the books that I want to add. Because what I'm thinking about doing is once we start the Wisdom Challenge is just never ending it. Like doing it for a year and then passing out awards, but then just getting right into the next, you know, not stopping. So that way I can pass on. Here's all the stuff I'm reading that's actually helping me. And so far this book's pretty good. I will say if I had any critiques of it, it's not really a critique, it's more of a personal preference. He does a bit of storytelling in the book. I only read nonfiction. I don't give a shit about your stories. Tell me something I can use in my life that's useful. And then tell me about your trip to fucking Mexico or whatever that I'm supposed to pretend to be interested in. I'm just not big on stories because, frankly, narcissistically, my imagination is just better than most of the shit people write down to me. But with nonfiction, I can learn things that I can apply to my life to make my life better in ways that I can see, you know, sense and touch. So that's the benefit I get out of it. So he tells stories, and I'm like, I don't just where's the and I went to the end of one of his chapters, like, oh, here's the point that this chapter's trying to make right here in the last paragraph. I didn't need to read any of those stories. So anyway, I want to start on the show saying, hey, here's the book that I picked up today, or here's the book that I'm dealing with this week, or whatever. I try. I've been kind of on a hiatus the last year from some advice from a friend. I used to read 3 books every week, like religiously. He's like, take some time off from them books and let them marinate. He's like, don't stop reading, but just read less. So I've been slower to read. It's been fun, man. I've played more video games. But anyway, we'll see if that book gets added to the Wisdom Challenge. But the reason I bring it up is I want to make sure everybody here, one, is in my book club. If you're not, the information about how to join is right there on screen. You can text books to 833-576-2460. And it's totally free. It's a text service. The only thing that I would have to tell you money-wise is if you're in a place where you're paying per text, then it's, yeah. Like, just be aware that standard rates apply. I know for a lot of us, like me, I have unlimited texting on my phone plan, so I don't get charged for it. But I remember having phone plans where I did. So just know if you're over your texts, you're going to be getting texts from me once a week. So just be mindful of that. And it's once a week on Tuesdays, 11 a.m. The new book comes out, or will come out. And then we'll go through all the books together. And I'm only going to pass on books that I think are super dope at helping you do things. And the books will range from philosophy, psychology, history. There'll be science books in there. Economics will be a part of it. But there'll also be stories. It won't all be nonfiction. Some of it will be fiction. In fact, some of the books will be kids' books. Because I think in some cases, kids' books are better at teaching morals or morals of the story than some of the, more heavily adult written books. Right? So like one of the books I could tell you right now is in the challenge, you can cheat and get ahead, is Mikey and the Dragons by Jocko Willink. And it's a powerful, maybe one of the most powerful books I've ever read on fear. It's very simple, but the perspective he gives you on what fear is really doing to you and why it's such a heinous enemy and why you're so much stronger than your fears. The book just captures it, like capturing that for a child, it captures it for the adult. The kid in you will read that and just be like, oh my God. This book right here is going to get added to the challenge. I think I've already added it. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. So I was at a used bookstore a couple months ago. I love used bookstores. I collect books. Collecting books is just as fun, if not more fun, than collecting video games for me, because what I usually can get way more out of a book than a video game's ever going to give me. But this book right here, I don't know how many times I cried reading this. And I'm not a hyper emotional guy. I'm kind of hyper rational. But when truth that is unique to you hits you in the marrow of your soul, you're going to have an emotional reaction. And there's so much truth, especially a lot of the pain that I've endured in my life is covered in this book. And it helps me process it like, oh, that's why I went through that. Now I'm crying in the car and my kids wonder what's wrong. But this book right here is a life changer. This is the type of stuff that's going to go in the challenge. And literally, you could get through this book like I did in a day, because it's just, every page is just a self-contained point. It's almost like a comic book in that resort. But anyway, I was at the bookstore, and me and the dude at the bookstore, we immediately hit it off, because he's like a mix between a capitalist entrepreneur and a hippie. Like, he's this great mixture of these different energies that I like. And we just started talking. We talked for like an hour. And so he's like, I was like, what do you read? Because he's like, what are you reading? I was like, I'm reading this from your store. He's like, all right. He's like, here's what I'm reading now. Give this a look. And I just started reading. I said, boss, I got to have this. How do I get one of these? I said, I'm 3 pages in. I got to have this book immediately. I got to tell everyone I know about this book, and I've only read 3 pages of it. And he looks at me. He's like, well, this is the only one I got, but I can get you one. I was like, whatever it costs. So I finished reading in the chair, and then I get up to check out. Miko comes back, and we go to buy our, however many hundreds of dollars we spent on books that day. And he's like, here, I'm going to throw this one in for free. He gave me his copy. And who does that, man? He gave me his copy from this was his book. It wasn't the store's book. He got this book himself, I think from a friend. And he's like, here, I'm going to give you my copy. I was like, I'm going to cherish this book for the rest of my life and pass it on to everybody I know. Thank you. That's such a blessing. Just, you meet really cool people on this journey if you're paying attention, gang. There's a lot of really awesome people. I talk about apes and stupid people and we joke. There's a lot of fascinating, great people on this planet that I've had the honor of spending, sharing oxygen and nitrogen with. More nitrogen than oxygen, but you get the deal.
Very well. You know what? I'll help you. Where have you looked so far?
I've combed the entire battlefield twice already. It must be buried under the dead and ashes around here.
Maybe someone stole it.
Now who'd do that? Goblins!
Goblins?
Yes, they finished off the wounded and looted the corpses. Only with the Castellan's footmen could we drive them away.
Okay, keep looking here. I'll go and look for goblins. Where can I find the buggers?
They live in caves east.
Yeah, I usually spend more on my book runs than I do on my video game runs. Because books, man, it's life. It's so much. Like, Will Smith said it best. I don't know if he's the original guy who said the quote. He was the first guy I heard say it. He's like, listen, man, read books, man. He's like, because at some point, somebody had a problem 1,000 years ago that you have now, and they wrote some shit down. Go read what they wrote. They wrote, like, when I started trying to do pricing in my companies, for the companies that I, built from the ground up, or side hustles companies, whatever you want to call them. I remember asking the question that I get asked 1,000 times on shows now, which is, B, how do I come up with my prices? And the answer is more simple than you're ever going to want to hear. But so I got this book on smart pricing, which the premise of the book you can learn in 2 sentences. But what the book gives you is a ton of case studies that show you, one of my favorite bands is, now I'm drawing a blank on their name, is Radiohead. And they did a unique pricing structure for one of their albums years ago that killed in the market because of the way they did it. And I was like, that was genius. And now that led to, now if if you're a musician and you have a Bandcamp account, for example, the fact that you can let people pay what they want on Bandcamp, you can thank Radiohead for that. I think they were the first one. They were the first, like, really, really popular band that I know of to do that. Or at least they're the ones that were covered in the book. I don't know if they were the first. But that's cool shit, man. That's a really cool, like, the audience just gets to decide. And, and when artists have done that for me, I've always overpaid. Because I've been the artist that was broke as shit. I guess I've never been broke as shit. I've always made money, but I've been in life situations where even making a lot of money, you can still be broke in some cases. But I remember being that artist that was a broke artist. I was making money in my career, but as an artist, I wasn't making shit. That's not true. I was making money for performing. I wasn't making any money on my albums. But to read that let me know, there's creative ways that you can build something for your community where they'll pay into it and they'll be happy to. And so, like, I was always the guy that once I stopped being broke, when I'd see an artist is like, yo, will you buy my album? I always try to pay for the higher tier. Just because I remember being the dude that was like, dang, how many albums did we sell today? 4. Like, shit. This is harder than it looks. So I remember being the artist, hoping somebody would like, and obviously I'm not throwing that kind of coin at something that sucks. That shit needs to be dope. But anyway, there's so many things in these books that help us get things done in ways that are so much easier once we have the knowledge. So that's why we do the challenge. Tag says, OB, absolutely love Deltron 3030. I instantly knew the voice. Then it clicked. I knew him from my love of Gorillaz and his song Clint Eastwood. There you go. Yeah, so Del the Funky Homo Sapien is ill. I mean, he's Ice Cube's cousin, so he's no stranger to making dope music. Yeah, Deltron and his album Deltron 3030 is magic. Like, from the opening song had me like, what? Nobody kills like this on the opener. Like, the opener's just supposed to warm up the crowd, and he comes out swinging. It's like, all right. I mean, it's a mellow song. I don't mean the intensity of it. Just what he's talking about on that song. He comes out throwing Sure You Cans. Like, damn. Yeah, so one of my favorite artists and now an acquaintance of mine did that because when he went independent to major label, when he went back independent, he tried to launch his album and the independent label fucked up the launch. So he went on Twitter and just gave everybody the link to download it. He's like our fucking label just fucked up everything. Here's the album for free. Thanks. He's like, if you want to throw us a bone and buy albums down the road, fine, but you're getting the album for free because I would rather my audience have the album when it was promised to them than make money on it. Like, that was the move he pulled. And then he made more money selling the album than if the problem his kindness to his audience made him make more sales on the back end than if they had never had the problem in the first place. Because that problem gave him an opportunity to show his audience, hey, I give a shit about y'all. And if I don't make any money on this, you have to understand, I didn't make this for the money. Yes, I'd like to make the money so kids can eat and shit, but I didn't make this for money. Nobody does anything for money. They do it for what money can get them access to, right? Or for some other greater purpose. And for him, it's the obsession to make art. He's like, I got to make this shit. Whether you buy it or not is irrelevant. I would very much like you to buy it because, he's like, I got kids, but... and then people were buying, like you said, 2 and 3 copies of the album. Like when I hit up Robert Boyd for copies of his game that he had done through Limited Run, Cosmic Star Heroine, and I hit him. I was like, man, I know you get this all the time, and I know you don't remember working with me 7,000 years ago, dude. I'll take a used copy. A painted over copy. I just want something physical. I don't only want to buy this. And I'll buy it digital to support you all day, every day. But please, do you have any physicals? He's like, bro, I got nothing. Go to conventions and try it there. So I went through some of my channels and I found the mecca of physical copies of that game. And so it was like, all right, bet. And I didn't have to pay the eBay, markup. because these sellers compete with eBay by keeping their prices agreeable to what the market originally had without price gouging. So I'm like, bet, these are like the underground sellers. I love these guys. And so, at least that's how I interpret how the thing works. I don't know if that's the truth. But I found copies. So when I found that there were physical copies, I bought 3 at full price. I was like, I want one to play. I'm keeping one in the plastic because this is going to be worth money one day because this dude, I will make him famous. If I have to get famous to make him famous, I'll do it because he deserves to make games for a lot more people. And a lot more, he deserves to have a lot more players play his games because his games, more than any other modern games I've ever played, respect the player's time. No other designer thinks like him. And I'm like, or them. And so I bought 3 copies. Like one to give away, one to keep in the plastic, and one to play. So yeah, when your audience loves the value you bring to them, man, they will have your back. You know, sometimes. Sometimes. All right, so this dude wants me to find that thing. I don't remember where the Stewart. Wasn't it on one of these wooden contraptions or something? I don't remember where I found this the last time I played this game. The notched flambeauge? Really now. I feel bad for these brothers that got trapped under the rock, dude.
The standard. Have you found it?
Not yet, but...
All right, let's keep looking. I think I remember doing this one time. The second time I played the game, after running around for 45 minutes and realized that, it was in a much easier to find place than I gave it credit for. The problem is the map is not marked with... Oh, well, the map wouldn't be marked with it, brother. No, that's it. So wait a minute, is that what the map's trying to tell me? Oh, maybe that's what the map's trying to tell me then. Maybe. Let's get it. Gangsta style. Let's hit it. To the streets. To the beats. Hooker hoes don't give them no treats. Keep an eye. Okay, we're good on time. We're right at about shutting down showtime here, gang. So we'll do this last quest and then get on with our night. Yeah, the combat system in this game was just really well thought out. It's very simplistic, but man, that sequence is fun to do. The switching between the different types of attacks and the fact that the game lets you get strong enough at each of them to be useful, I like it, man. A lot. I thought somebody was trying to flank me there for a second. But I guess I was hearing footsteps. One of the best albums I've ever heard, says Tristan. The dude released it for free. And oh, okay, that was the comment that I read already. Cool. I am rereading comments. And I'm saving games, y'all. Save them up. I actually need to level up, too. I need to check my level up juice. Only leveled up once tonight. That's, Only leveled up once tonight. Oh, you better get the pimpin'. Alright. Oh, that one's closed anyway. Never mind. I don't need to mess with that. Don't want to do that just yet. Let's see how challenging this battle is. Then we will regroup. Damn it, B. Come on. Oh, no, he missed. He missed. Hell yeah, he missed. Didn't miss that time, ho. Yeah, come get some, ho. I'm just gonna dance around your ass. You're never gonna get your shot off. Nice little try with that blow dart. But you too slow, ho. Too slow, ho. Tag is silly. Oh, man. At this point, you guys have told those jokes so much, they're going to start showing up in pink SUVs just to throw off the scent. Let's play some drums for the people. Mustache is scratching my nose, man. It's tickling.
snap. You got me in close quarters? This is my kind of place right here, boy. Yes, sir. I love a good close quarters fight, ho. You're not going to beat me at that. How many blow darts do you have, homie? The Inno statue has been gained. Oh, sweet Enos. Sweet, sweet Enos. Oh, snap. I hear but don't see. Talk to me, Goose. Shit, where's my out? Where's my out? Got it, got it. All right, all out, ho! Camera's too zoomed in. Right. Good killing, y'all. Good killing. Having too much fun playing this game. Uh-huh, thought so. Anybody else? Alright, we got the standard in there. That's cool. We'll come back for that in a sec. Let's get our treasure chest. I love the lockpick system. Man, there's so many things in this game that are just dope. They're dope. El Dopo. El más dopo del todos. Anybody else need some killing before I grab this thing? Does anybody else need killing? 'Cause I'm about to grab the thing. Dolly Parton. Oh, never mind. Forgot forgot where I was for a second. Hey, heavy crossbow. Hey, wait a minute. Is that a... Yes! I knew it, whore. You attempted to hide, but I did not allow it. Booyaka. Fall damage is for losers. It's the one thing they've made in this game that's for losers. Fall damage. But like I said, if you don't put fall damage in your games, the nerds will lose their whole mind. They'll start a petition like they did to Mass Effect. You're gonna change this ending because we're the customer. Fuck you. Matter of fact, if I had been BioWare, I would have changed the ending to fucking Ronald McDonald passing out goddamn cheeseburgers to children. That would have been the ending. Be like, here, let Ronald McDonald handle the end of the world. Like, nah, matter of fact, no. I'd have Ronald McDonald passing out cheeseburgers to, like, vegans. That's what I would have made the ending. It's just Ronald McDonald has a bunch of vegans for whatever reason captured, and he's forcing them to eat cheeseburgers. Just because, fuck everybody that had a problem with my art. You had a problem with my art? You didn't like it? Here's some more. That's why I don't make art anymore. Because it's like, fuck you, I made the art I wanted to make. If you didn't like it, that's your business. But you're not going to call me and tell me to change this shit. Alright. Where we heading? To get Doran squared away. Everybody pouring in. Dylan's in the house. What up, Dylan? Dylan. Watch that be fall damage. Fall damage right here. Right there. Fall damage. Here go fall damage. Okay, good. They're not completely ridiculous with the fall damage. It's still ridiculous. Yep, that was fall damage. Y'all see it? Ridiculous. It wasn't even that high up. Fall damage.
The standard. Have you found it?
I'm sure the goblins took it. Look, is this the one?
My lord's standard. That's it. My honor is saved. Thank you, stranger. Thank you.
Never mind. I'm off to the castle, and so are you, incidentally.
Very well. See you at Silver Lake Castle.
Yes! Speaking of leveling up, shall we follow Doran to the castle of Silver Lake? Perhaps we shall. And once we get there, I'm sure we'll find a table dance. But until that day, friends, I must bid you a sad but fond adieu. I love y'all much, man. Thanks for hanging. This has been fun. It's always fun when I get to hang with y'all. See, Dylan says, absolutely, that would be awesome. We'll probably do tomorrow. It won't be up much later tonight, which is great. Perfect timing, Dylan. We're about to let you go to sleep anyway. So yeah, man, back at it tomorrow. I might, depending on if a meeting that I've had postponed for most of the week happens tomorrow. Oh, never mind. I have a different meeting tomorrow. So whether that one happens or not is irrelevant. Where am I? There we go. So there may still be a second stream tomorrow, but I'm not exactly sure when it'll happen. I've got to hook up with one of my Spartans and help them. They're working to build out their coaching business, so I wanted to have a conversation with him about how we could help them do that faster, more efficiently, whatever the thing is, but figure out exactly where he's trying to go and then
get them there as quickly and efficiently and happily as possible. So we'll be doing that, and then after that I'll probably stream. But I don't know if I'll do 2 streams tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling. But if I'm feeling up to it, we will. And that probably means we'll have a Madden stream and a Tales. I'm sorry, not Tales. An actual game I like. Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna. In fact, we left off at the part of the game that I don't like very much. So that'll be fun to make fun of all of that. And then hopefully that we are at the part of Ease 8 where I quit the game the first time I played it. So I'm actually excited to get back into it. Because it's a game I've wanted to finish for a long time and just never gotten around to. So having these streams helps me do it. So yeah, we should be back tomorrow night with Ease. And if we get a second stream, we may get another game of Madden in our Madden season to help the Washington football team do something they haven't done in over 20 years, which is win a Super Bowl. And super excited to have Coach Rivera in real life, and now that I have him in Madden, it's a lot of fun too. Also, really excited, if you haven't heard and you are a football fan, I just heard about it today on Colin Cowherd's show. They're doing a dedication to John Madden on Christmas. I think it's Christmas Day, or it's December 21st. It's coming, but they're doing, I think it's Christmas Day. They're doing a tribute to John Madden. And that is one of the very few times I will work to try to tune into television. Because, I mean, that guy made, in a lot of ways, football what it is today. One of the things they talked about on the show today, and I didn't know this, was that John Madden was the only commentator in, like, football history who, even if the game was not very fun to watch, like it was a boring game where the other team was getting blown out, the people would still stay to listen to John Madden. Because he was such a good educator in things about football that watching the show became this interesting, almost, I assume, kind of Mr. Wizard show where someone that doesn't know a ton about football is getting this master class, but in terms that they can understand from a guy who was a master at the game. So, you know, and he's made, I don't know how many games now with his name on it. You know, back when it used to be called John Madden Football. Which even at this point, they had stopped calling it John Madden Football. It was called Madden NFL at this point. I think the original one may be the only one that's actually called John Madden Football. But I loved this game as a kid, and John Madden was a part of my childhood. You know, watching the games and then playing them on weekends and snow days and Christmas. I spent a lot of Christmas breaks playing this game right here. And it's, you know, I think this game cost me $4 complete in the box. But hell, I would have paid a lot more because this is a piece of my history right here, complete in the box. I actually got this in San Diego at Luna Games, this bag that I always hang up because I want to promote them. Just really cool people who've always been nice to me and always had good stuff and always reasonable with the prices, always knowledgeable. It's just a really cool retro game store, and I sing their praises kind of the same way I do E-Starland here in my local area. Although I'd say Luna Games' prices might be better than Chris's, depending on the game. Because sometimes Chris, like I bought a game from Chris recently where I was like, damn, that's all. Oh, it was this. Like the price he charged me for this compared to what he could have sold it for, the 3D Dot Game Heroes, I was shocked. I was like, damn, sometimes Chris really lowers his prices and gives the, you know, the buyer a deal. But yeah, so we'll come back with that. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. They said they'll see you tomorrow. Oh man, you guys are insane. But you're my kind of insane. So I love you all like brothers, sisters, and others, man. Much love to you. We are stronger than I. We'll be back at this thing manana. Peace.